focus, I know you need it. Do you feel it? Drink the water, drink the wine.
Hi everybody, we welcome you into the Big Pond here in Champaign, Illinois for the first game of two between the McKendree Bearcats and the University of Illinois Fighting Illini. I'm Cristiano Simonetta, Eric Fisher alongside. It's basically just us tonight.
It is. We're a little short-staffed
Ham and Kyle will join us in the intermissions,
Yep,
but that's about it.
That's it.
But hey, there's still a hockey game to be played. Illinois 6-0 on the season. Is this something that we expected going in despite whatever the schedule may be? They had a lot of moving parts, a lot of freshmen in the lineup, still finding ways to get points.
Yeah, I think so. This is definitely something you and me at least, saw coming into the season. The level of competition they were facing right off the bat, we knew was not going to be able to match them. And at the same time, this Illini squad, I feel like, is overperforming of what we thought too. We've underestimated the amount of depth they had on this team, and Fabrini's mentioned it several times that he feels like all four lines can just go off at any point in time. So I feel like this Illini squad is just far and beyond an offensive juggernaut, and I feel like we might see that here tonight.
11 Illini players in the lineup tonight have active point streaks. The offense has continued its rampant scoring pace, outscoring opponents 35-7. How realistic do you think it is to keep this outreach, I guess, of goal production leading to wins moving forward? Do you still think that they're just going to be able to obliterate every team they face down the line?
Oh, I doubt it for sure. Once they start getting in the conference play against Ohio and Lindenwood, those are going to be very tough competition. So I feel like it's going to drop a little bit, but at the same time, it's going to really test this Illini team. And if they could come out maybe and get a hot start to conference play, then maybe we'll see a lot more confidence start to build up, and we'll see them start to put up numbers like they have like here in non-conference play.
Well, if there's a reason to have confidence in the lineup, look no further than number 24, Bobby Ernsting, comes back in the lineup. He returns after missing 2 games with an upper body injury. Sophomore has 6 points through 4 games. How essential is he to the success of this offense?
Oh, he's huge. He's been the glue. He's been the glue to the second line for the Illini, which has been so dominant. Of course, you have James McGee, who's the star player of this team. But you have Bobby Ernsting, who's allowed James to take a more subtle approach to the game and be more of a shooter, which he mentioned earlier in the season was something new to him, because Ernsting's become more of the facilitator on that line, and that's allowed this second line, along with David Kellner, who's really stepped up this year so far, to really be explosive as they are. And then you've also seen Ernsting be a two-way player. He's been on the first line for the penalty kill for the Illini this season, along with James McGee, and he's also made huge plays in the neutral zone to really lead a rush in which him and James McGee and David Kellner can really take advantage of their opponents.
But McKendree boasts its own talent up front, led by Levi Armstrong and Dominic Noss. The Bearcats average 6.2 goals a game. What could the Illini do to limit them up front?
I think they have to limit the amount of turnovers they have in the neutral zone and in their own defensive zone. We saw last week that's how NIU was able to get off to such hot starts and pick up the first goal in both games. So I feel like if the Illini just communicate and make sharp, crisp passes, especially in their own zone, in the neutral zone, then they're going to be able to limit this McKendree unit to the amount of goals they're scoring.
Cristiano Simonetta with you right now. Eric Fisher alongside. Friday night hockey just seconds away at the Big Pond. Score prediction, what do you got?
I got the Illini 5-2 over McKendree. I think McKendree's going to put up a solid fight. They have a lot of very good players, including a very talented goaltender in Andrew Best. But I feel like the Illini are just going to eventually wear out this McKendree team, especially on this white ice, which is something they're surely not familiar to.
Excuse me. But keep going.
And they're just going to come out and they're going to take down this McKendree unit. Probably a 2-0 sweep this weekend.
Ooh, a 2-0 sweep.
2-0 sweep.
All right. Well, we'll get to the starting lineups right now. On left wing for McKendree, number 27, Connor Brennan. At center, number 17, Tyler Wilson. On right wing, number 7, the goal scorer, Levi Armstrong. He leads the Bearcats with 8 goals. On the back end, number 89, Cole DeZand at left defense. Right defense, Alec Nichols. And in goal, he's as well advertised as they come. It's Andrew Best, who was 17-2 last season. How many do you think the Illini are going to put up tonight, though? I know you made the prediction, but realistically, this is probably the most talented goaltender they've faced all season long.
He's going to be very tough. For his size, he moves around very well, and that's something the Illini haven't been used to because they've been facing very small goaltenders like Grant Laziski, and last week with Dubnik was correct? No, Jojo Durbeck. Durbeck, that's correct. He's another small goaltender, and so this is going to be something new that the Illini will be facing. I'm sure Best is going to put up one of his best performances.
And now the team in orange and gray. Grant Stuve on left wing. Eric Cruikshank down the middle. Drew Richter on the right side. On the back end, number 22, Tyler Opilka. At right defense, it's Joey Caprio. In net, David Heflin. How good has he been to start this season? Chance Homer and I talked to him on Thursday. He said one word: phenomenal.
Oh yeah, he's been huge for this team so far this year. Coming into the year where they're not really that deep at goaltender. You have Ross Lippick, who is still somewhat unproven. So there was a lot of weight coming into this year on Heflin's shoulders to really come out and be a dominant goaltender. And so far, he's looking like he could potentially be the best in the league.
Illini, McKendree University Bobcats. What could be better on a Friday night? Hi, everybody. Cristiano Simon, if you just joined us. Eric Fisher alongside. No WPGU stream tonight, but we do have the YouTube live video stream. We hope that you've joined us, and we're glad if you did. The Illini 6-0 on the year against the McKendree University Bobcats, who are 5-1. We're going to send it down to ice level for the national anthem.
This time, ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise, remove all caps and hats, and face the flag above the scoreboard for the singing of our national anthem. Performing the anthem tonight is a University of Illinois premier men's a cappella group established for 49 years as part of the Varsity Men's Glee Club. They are the Other Guys.
Great rendition. The Other Guys. Did you like that movie?
I love that movie. Most underrated Will Ferrell comedy. Maybe one of the most underrated comedies in general.
I liked it. Mark Wahlberg, 2007. Don't ask me why I know the release of the movie. It's a great.
Loved it.
It's a great one. Anyways, to the play on the ice. The goaltender to the right, number 29, David Heflin. 3-0-0 on the season. 1.00 goals against average. .961 save percentage. The Mundelein native, he's been as best as they can be. And the net to my left, Andrew Best. What a season he's had. 3-1 on the year. 2.76 goals against average. .933 save percentage. But as we mentioned, 17-2 last year. 2.07 goals against average. .935 save percentage. The Illini offense, it's going to be a tough task for them tonight.
Definitely.
Eric Cruikshank leads this Illini team in goals. You see him in the middle of your screen right now at the block eye, number 15, 6 goals, 3 assists on the year. We're underway here in Champaign. The Illini win the draw. All the way back to the M boards, it's Joey Caprio, senior defenseman, plays it over for Tyler Opilka. Opilka hits Cruikshank up the middle. The Illini come over the line. Cleared in by Drew Richter on the glove of Andrew Best. And the Bearcats come out of it. They get out to center ice where it's quickly taken away from Levi Armstrong by Richter. Opilka hits Cruikshank in the middle and dumps one down. 25 seconds gone by in this first period. It's the Bearcats and the Illini. Ryan Reeder checked hard. Richter tried to center one in front. Armstrong couldn't get to the puck to the left circle. Here's Ernsting. Nice toe drag move along the near side. Laying down for Richter. Plays pitch and catch. Joey Kepper looking for his first goal. Leary fires one. That one went wide. And Ernsting back to the right point for Opilka. Opilka shoots one intentionally wide. The Illini are changing. A nice first shift for the guys in orange and gray.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about puck possession as well. Just keeping it in their own zone and wearing down the Bearcats defense.
Here comes James McGing. 3 goals, 10 assists. The Illini leading point getter as we get an offsides whistle 1 minute and 1 second into this first period. Hi, everybody. Cristiano Simonetta, Eric Fisher, if you just joined us. Illinois versus McKendree. McKendree 5-1 on the year, so this is not a team that the Illini should overlook by any means.
No, and this is going to be a team that's going to help a lot build the Illini once they come into conference play, as they've always had tough competition, especially on the road.
Joe Nolan leads Illini defenseman in points. The freshman defenseman plays it over for the captain, Joey Rittendale, who lays one in. 18:47 left in the first period. Bearcats pressured a bit as Kellner hit a man. And spinning out with it, it's Jacob Young behind his own net. Kellner pestering, now to the right point. Rittendale pinches. Along the far side, half-boards, Rittendale's taken down but keeps the puck. 4-man battle. And now it's number 74, Alex Ivasinko. What a hockey name that is. He drops one, and that was a slap shot for number 12. That was Jason Belkey. Missed everything. Now on the near side in the Illini zone. Home team tries to capitalize. Here's Kellner. Pass too far for him. It's Travis Bob. Bob along the end boards. Tosses one for his teammate. 18-12 left in the first period. And neither team has an official shot on goal as number 91, Jacob Young, dumps it in. Here's Joey Rittendale, second-year captain, leading his team to a 6-0 start, trying to make it 7-0. Speaking of number 7, it's Stephen Quinn, laying it ahead. Now for Homer, and he dropped one from Moskalik, never hit him. Here's Dominic Nass all the way to center ice. The Bearcats on the counter. Now on the left circle, backhanding one in. Here's Alex Nichols. Nichols on the far side. He's checked by Kendati. Kendati knocks his man down. Bearcats keep the puck. Number 11, that's Lazar Lesterik. Lesterik with one hand on his stick. Hits one in below. And the Bearcats centering one out in front, and that shot went wide. A fluttering effort from Blair Davies. But David Heflin was in position, never had to make the save. Bearcats with it again at the right circle. They move in. A shot there, and they score! What a beautiful goal! It's Dominic Nass, his 7th goal of the year. What a response for the visitors. 2 minutes and 38 seconds into the first period. The guys in purple strike first.
This is starting to look like a familiar thing for the Illini, coming off the very slow starts in the first period. And one of the most dangerous players on the Bearcats team, you lose him defensively. That's just something you cannot have, especially at the start of the game like that.
And Dominic Nass had 57 points in 24 games last year. Number 57 in purple does it again, and he beats the Illini. It's 1-0 Bearcats. How will Illinois respond? It's their 3rd straight game where they've allowed the first goal. Nope. Opilka out to the middle for Sabo. Now to the right point, Tyler Opilka winds one, and that's stopped by Best. The rebound was available. But 2 minutes and 58 seconds into the first period, if you're head coach Fabrini, what do you have to say to your roster coming out flat against, they are a Division II team, but they don't play like one?
Well, you just have to tell them to wake up. This is a very important series, especially coming into Lindenwood 2 weeks later. So the Illini really have to get some confidence before they get their first real road test against them.
Now on the far side, half-boards, it's Billy Lamb. Lamb with a saucer pass, negated by the back-checking of number 28, Evan Sabo. 16:48 left in the first period. The Bearcats have struck first thanks to a goal from Dominic Nass. Here come the Illini as Novosel knocks down a man. And I believe there's going to be an Illini penalty. Boarding is the call. 3 minutes and 16 seconds into the first period. Perhaps the worst start the Illini could have, allowing a goal. And now we'll have to face a power play.
And Novosel's a guy that's known for really being a real bruiser on this 4th line, and he hasn't really been penalized for it at all. But that hit, that was a clear boarding, got him way too high, and was directly behind him right along the board. So that's going to be an easy 2 minutes. And so the Illini really need to come out and come together on this penalty kill and really make sure they don't find themselves in a 2-0 deficit.
96.2% efficiency for the Illini on the penalty kill this season. You look at the other end for McKendree. Oh my gosh,
McKenzie's not here today.
McKenzie's not here. McKendree is, as they are 31% with the man advantage. They go to the work at the right point. It's Ty Wilson. Now down low on the half boards for Lesterik. Lesterik gets the puck back from Nas. On the top of the point for Wilson. Wilson left point, quick pass. That was knocked away. Great active sticks there from both Cruikshank and Kellner. McKendree has to go back to center ice. Poke checked ahead. This could be a 2-on-1. Here's Armstrong. Armstrong tried to thread one in front, couldn't go. Now to the far side for Nas. Nas the goal scorer. Back to the point for Ryan Reeder. Reeder for Nas. Nas to the left circle. Novosel sits in the box. 2 minutes for boarding. 1:23 left on the McKendree power play. Out of the top of the point. Saucered beautifully over onto the stick of Wilson. Wilson, who had 7 points on October 7th against Mizzou. You got to watch out for number 17 in purple. Puck down to the goal line. Nas with a stab at it. It's on the outside of the cage. It's still loose. Nas gets it free. Out of the top of the point for Wilson. Wilson down low for Lesterick. Lesterick for Nas. Off the pad of Heflin. And Crookshank fan on the drive. And now a shot there is blocked. A second effort. Whacked at by Nas. And he'll take the puck again. 53 seconds left in the power play.
That was a huge block by Crookshank to really make up for his mistake there.
Lesterick down low for Wilson. He's got it again. Wilson, backdoor play. They score. What a beautiful goal. McKendree striking again. This time 4:32 into the first period. It's number 7, Levi Armstrong.
Oh, that was a beautiful shot, too, especially with the angle he was able to get that goal. And he was right along the red line. And he was able to beat David Heflin glove side hot. And it was also very high, too, getting that high slot area. And it's just a beautiful goal. And for the Illini, this is not what you could have imagined when you come into this game.
So if you just joined us, we're only 4:32 into the first period. McKendree with a 2-0 lead on the road. And here's Joe Nolan now for Joey Rittendale, trying to command his troops into a comeback effort only 5 minutes in. And they have to stay disciplined, Eric.
Oh, absolutely.
And here's Rittendale. Now for Ernsting. Went through his skates. On the far right side, McGing with a steal. He's got Stuve out in front. Here's James McGing. The pass off the left skate of a McKendree defenseman. Now here's Rittendale. Down low for McGing. Up top for Ernsting. He has some space. He winds and fires, and that was wide of the glove of Best. Now the near side half-boards, it's Nolan. 14:50 left in the first period. 2-0 Bearcats. Now on the near side, it's McGing. McGing walks around a man. He's got a wide open chance. He's McGing fires one, and that one just went wide. You never want to give number 13 in orange and gray some space. The Bearcats do and survive. On the left point, it bounces over a stick. David Heflin's out to play it. As the Bearcats go for a change, 14:30 left in the first period. Your initial thoughts so far of what we're seeing?
Oh, McKendree's just come out, and they're simply outplaying this Illini team on both sides of the ice.
Nolan dropped it for McKee. Backdoor pass, and they score! Grant Stuve! 2-1, 5:41 into the first period. Stuve gets on the board, his 3rd goal of the season.
We talked about McGing becoming more of a shooter on this line, but we saw right there he's still got the ability to be a playmaker and a facilitator for his team, as he has a beautiful backhand pass across the ice to perfectly set up Grant Stuve, who picks up his 3rd goal of the year.
3rd goal of the year.
And that's what you needed. You need to fire back. If you let McKendree have a 2-0 lead for this long, bad things will happen, but they responded.
You see the effect of having James McGing on the ice. He drew at least 2 Bearcats' eyes. He slid it far side with a left-handed shot Stuve, and he made no mistake. Here's Levi Armstrong, who has now 9 goals on the season after scoring that power play goal. A rare power play goal for the Illini to give up, nonetheless. Then it was a 2-0 game, and now it's 2-1 thanks to a goal from Grant Stuve. McGing with his team-leading 11th assist. Now on the end boards, it's Jack Graham for John Moskaluk. Moskaluk will skate through his own zone. Nice trap implemented from the Bearcats, and it's tipped ahead for Quinn. Stephen Quinn along the near side in the Illini zone. 13:36 left in the first period. 2-1 visitors. And Holmgren shoots one. That one was over the glove as Holmgren gets back in the lineup after missing last weekend. Here's Moskaluk in front for Quinn, and his effort was over the net. Now out to the near side. And it's again Armstrong. You're going to hear Levi Armstrong's name all night as he's already made an impact as we're only 6 minutes into this hockey game. Here's Graham, 2-line pass up for Wicklund off his stick. Almost too many men for the Illini as Opilka has to waft one back into the neutral zone. Novosel back to Caprio. Joey Caprio looking for his first point of the season, as he's unusually kept off the score sheet this entire season. And now it's back to the near side. It's Evan Sabo into the Bearcats zone. 12:48 left in this first period. Coming out with it is number 18, Dimitro Golovko. And Golovko had it stolen away from Sabo momentarily and sent back down the ice as Ivasinko. Opilka now along the Bearcats bench. They battle for it. 4th line for head coach Nick Fabrini out right now. It's Caprio. Caprio has a man streaking ahead of his Sabo. Instead, he'll hit Wicklund. Getting the line, he shoots one that's blocked away. It's number 6, Billy Lamb. Sends one down the ice. This one will go far enough for icing. 7 minutes and 41 seconds into the first period. So a nice response from the Illini, but what can they do better?
Oh, I think it's just defensively. They have to really tighten down, and they can't lose their men. That's how you saw that first goal occur, is just simply Levi was able to get right into the center of the ice. Untouched by anyone, he was able to get a wide open shot. So the Illini really need to lock down defensively and really watch the turnovers in the neutral zone as well.
Crookshank with the draw win now for Rittendale. He fires one looking for a deflection, and Best makes the stop. Just 7 seconds later with Richter in front of him. If you're just joining us, hi everybody, Cristiano Simonetta, Eric Fisher alongside. 2-1 McKendree Bobcats, or Bearcats. What is this, basketball? The Bearcats versus the Illini. We face the Ohio Bobcats, now the Bearcats. Now out to center, it's Stuve, playing one ahead for Richter. Richter along the left circle, has McGing in front. He shoots one, that one went wide. As now Stuve with a whack at it. Instead, it's countered by the Bearcats. Now on the right circle is Dominic Nasi, went off sides as a streaking Lestrick, the alternate captain, went in too early. 8 minutes and 6 seconds into this first period. 2-1 McKendree.
Yeah, it's just McKendree so far. They've taken advantage. They look like they're taking advantage of the Illini on this wide ice, which is something that most teams have never able to do, especially here in the Big Pond. So the Illini need to come out and really make sure that let McKendree know that, hey, you're on our ice, and you're not going to be able to get away with this early lead you have.
Back in the Illini zone, it's Joe Nolan, speedy defenseman, hitting an equally speedy forward in David Counter. He threw one into an errant corner. As now we're in the Bearcat zone behind the net. Now to the left point, Nolan will pinch against Dominic Nass. And Nolan wins the battle. Now McGing down low for Counter. Counter on his backhand, trying to wrap it around, and Best with an active stick to punch that one along the end boards. Ernsting forces a turnover. He's got Counter in front. Here comes Bobby Ernsting looking for a power move on the wraparound try, and that one just missed. 11:14 left in the first period. McKendree up 2-1. As here's Nolan circling at neutral ice. Now for Ernsting, he hits him. This could be a 4-on-2 for Illinois. Here comes Ernsting. He fires one, and they're going high glove on Andrew Best, and time and time again, they haven't been able to hit the twine.
Just wide.
And here's McGing. Has Nolan out in front. James McGing with a lot of space on his backhand. Again moving shiftily. Now to the end boards as a late man. And again, look at this. James McGing gets checked, and he's poke-checked away. This will come all the way down the ice. Young in a race for it against Nolan. And Nolan wins it and gives Young a shove to boot. The Arnold, Missouri native probably didn't like that one too much, but nonetheless, I wouldn't want to pick a fight with Joe Nolan, who's at 6'4".
Absolutely not. And that was beautiful defense by Daniel Nordlander on McGing. You saw McGing doing what he does, just dance around the ice, and Nordlander just had enough of that. He just took McGing down on the ice to dish the puck out of his own zone.
Third line out for the Illini. Chance Homer and Moskaluk and Quinn. As here's Quinn along the right circle in the Bearcat zone. Quinn with a big hit there, and he steals the puck. Now looking out in front, and that one was kicked wide by Moskaluk. Moskaluk's going to get the puck with 10:28 left in the first period. The Illini draw a penalty, or maybe perhaps it was on Quinn, as the whistle came when the Illini had the puck. As this is 9:34 into the first period. Yes, I believe Quinn's going to be the guy to get the gate.
And you just can't have that right now, especially when you're already facing a deficit this early into the first period. And you saw how efficient McKendree was on their first power play, 1 for 1 so far.
Well, it looks like they're also going to send number 8, Alec Nichols, into the box for coincidental minors.
Possibly roughing maybe in the corner.
But it looked like the original call was on Nichols, so
yeah.
If Quinn retaliated, you're taking away a power play for your team.
And you just can't have that, especially in this game right now where you guys came out to a very lackadaisical start. And it just kind of shows that the Illini just are not quite prepared for this game.
4-on-4 hockey for the next 2 minutes. We're 9:34 in. Homer wins the draw. Back for Jack Graham. He fires when he scores! Jack Graham burns the opposition once more. His second goal of the year. The junior ties this game up at 2. 9:37 into the first period.
On the third line pairing, you usually don't expect to see a snipe like that from your third line defenseman. But just a beautiful shot. Snuck it right under Best's blocker. And he gets his second goal of the year. And he essentially brings the Illini back into this game as if it's just 0-0.
A huge goal on the 4-on-4, and look what Nick Fabrini does. He rewards him once again. Number 18 still on the ice with Mark Kendati along the left side corner. And Kendati was checked by Reeder. What a game we've had so far. 4 goals, and we're not even halfway through the first. And now at the far point, in the McKendree zone, out to center, skate to stick. It's Wilson. Wilson on the right circle, trying to go through Caprio. And Caprio cancels out his man, but number 27, Connor Brennan, keeps the puck. Brennan down low for Wilson. Wilson head fakes around Caprio. Drops one beautifully. Now for number 32, Josh Donovan, the defenseman, battling in below. Caprio meets him and steals it away. We've got a minute and 13 seconds left of 4-on-4. Moskalik was poked away. Now on the tape of Opilka. Opilka gained the line, 1-on-4. Rest of his team was changing, as Opilka is going to be able to saucer one to the far side, and Caprio's got it. Caprio's got a man at the point. It's McGing. McGing, effortless pass.
So easy.
And here's Opilka. He shot one wide. Now again for number 13. Stopping and starting around a man. Look at the wheels. Look at the moves on his back. He scores! James McGing! Unbelievable backhand. 10 minutes and 51 seconds into the first period. Just like that, Illinois got the lead.
Yeah, McGing looked like he was going half speed that entire possession. He looked under control the entire time. He looked like he knew exactly what he was going to do as soon as he did it. And it was just a beautiful backhand goal to give the Illini a 3-2 lead, which is great to see as they came out to a 2-0 deficit.
And they're both 4-on-4 goals.
Yeah, and we talked about, too, this is where the Illini really had to thrive, as they were able to practice on this situations like this on this wide ice all week long. So it's good to see them taking advantage of that.
And now McKendree finds its way onto the losing sheet so far. They're down by 1 goal. Now Ernsting shifts around a man, gains a line. From his knees, he plays it over to McGing. And McGing is shoved off by number 44, Nordlander. Look for that battle to ensue as we move forward. And look, hacking away is again McGing. McGing now to the right point. 10 seconds left in the coincidental minors. 1 to Stephen Quinn and 1 to Alec Nichols. Now down low for Ernsting. Ernsting blind pass out to the middle. And heads up, they could have a breakaway here. A long stretch pass hit no receiver. And the Illini are going to be the beneficiary of an icing call. McKendree will not be allowed to change. 11 minutes and 38 seconds into the first period. 5 goals, 3 for the Illini, 2 for the Bearcats. But McGing's goal, that's a dandy that you'll see on the highlight reel time and time again.
Oh, yeah, and that's just something you love to see out of your seniors, too. You come out to a very slow start, but then you have James McGing, who has not really been much of a leader for this Illini team throughout his career. You see him come out, he had the beautiful assist, and then he picks his team up with the goal, too.
The Bearcats trying to pull a fast one.
They tried.
Trying to get some personnel off, as number 74, Alex Ivasinko, is on. 5-on-5 hockey, 8:22 left in the first period, 3-2 Illinois.
Not going to get away with that in the big pond.
Yeah, it's pretty noticeable if you skate to the bench with this wide of zones.
Especially when you're wearing purple jerseys, you kind of stick out like a sore thumb.
That's very true. Now a man in the purple jersey. It's going to be number 17, Wilson, who's already had a multitude of minutes. Nolan takes the puck from him now for Cruikshank. Cruikshank plays along the boards to himself along neutral ice. Here's Richter. Richter, great pass for Cruikshank. Cruikshank left circle. He moves and he fires one. Oh, and that one just missed the crossbar. Now along the near side corner, far side corner in the Bearcat zone. Stuve caused another turnover. What great pass in there. Richter with a drive, and that's stopped by Besting. He holds on. 12 minutes and 14 seconds into the first period. That top line. So when you have a second line with McGing and Ernsting, then you're able to toss out that first pairing of Richter, Stuve, and Cruikshank. It's a great luxury to have. You're a head coach.
Oh, it just shows how much depth you have on this team, where each one of those lines can be first lines on almost any team on the ACHA. And to have that on your roster, especially when you have a good amount of freshmen and young players coming in, is huge.
Third line out for the Illini. It's Jack Graham. Already has a goal tonight. He fires one that's blocked. Out in front, a whack chance. And the puck's still loose. Now looking for a bank play was number 6, Justin Reese. Now back to the far line. Nice stick move there from Ivasinko, right on the tape of number 18, Golovko. 2 Russians combining for that effort as Golovko shoves down an attacking Illini member. That was Homer. Now here's Reese. Reese with 2 goals so far on the year. Outlets it for Homer, and Homer gaining the line. He winds up, and that one was blocked as he broke his twig on the play. And Homer, without a stick, takes down a man.
Big hit.
And they're still tangled up on neutral ice. Here comes number 8. That's Nichols trying to split through 2, but a man was offsides as a pleading Billy Lamb was wondering, hey, Shouldn't be able to take me down like that, especially when he doesn't have a stick.
It was just a great effort play by Holmgren, too. You saw he had a broken stick, and McKendree noticed it, trying to take advantage of it on the rush. But Holmgren comes back into the play and just knocks him right off, knocks him right along the boards and neutralizes any sort of rush that the Bearcats thought they may have had.
Neil Novosel centering this Illini fourth line, 2 points through 6 games. He's been an integral part of this Illini bottom 6. He wins the draw there. Opilka in his own zone out of the far side for Wicklund. Wicklund was pressured by 2 Bearcats. Now out to the line, it's Sabo. Sabo, skate the stick. Look at the speed from the sophomore. Sabo, look at that move between a man's legs, and he goes around and dances. Now to the left side corner, he fires one. Deflected on, and it's a scramble in the crease. And it's Novosel once more. Sabo really wants his first goal as a member of the Illini. He slaps one on, and that one was blocked out in the low slot. The Illini have it, though. Sabo now out to the blue line where it's excavated by Travis Bob. Bobble on the left circle. And Opilka says, I'll take that. And he slaps one down to the opposite side. Here's Novosel, gain the line. Checked by 2 Bearcats along the end board, 6-16. After this first period, 3-2 Illinois. McKendree with the first 2 goals, but a trifecta of answers from the home team. Nice dangling move there from number 11. That was Lazar Lesterik. But 4 Illini were around him. Opilka fakes a backhand toe drag. He's got it on his stick. Opilka spins and turns. Junior defenseman now up for counter. Counters checked off the puck there by Lesterik. Now here's Opilka. Oh, as that was going to be a nice give and go there from Ernsting, but that was just out in front of the defenseman.
He was going to have Best all to himself there on that shot, but the puck just a little bit farther than he would have liked it to be for him to get that shot opportunity.
The Illini are back in the zone. James McGing with another stick handling maneuver. 5.5 left in the first period. Counter out in front for Ernsting. Tried to hit him, but a sliding block for number 44. That was Nordlander. Diffused that chance. Now Nolan plays it ahead for Ernsting. Ernsting along the near side. Pressuring in McKendree's zone. Great pass on the tape of McGing. He fires one off the goalpost. Oh, he rang that one off the right pipe as McGing hungry for a second goal. And he sends one down for counter. Counter around Nordlander. He's hit there by number 17. That was Wilson. Wilson has at least 3 hits. Look at the move from James McGing. Unbelievable play to keep it alive. And Ernsting with a drive. That one was blocked. Back on the stick of Bobby. And McKendree, all they could do is not get to the point. But look at the FIFA effort there from Nolan to keep it in the zone. But now, here come the Bearcats down the backhand. It's Wilson. Defensive unit is changing for McKendree. Now on the near side, there's a battle. Here's Ernsting. Attempted to maneuver one through. Now back to the right point. Here's number 74. That's Ivasinko. He fires one that's stopped by Heflin. He gobbles up that little flip. And 15 minutes and 31 seconds into the first period. It's been action at both ends. And it's been one fantastic hockey game so far.
Oh, absolutely. And I just want to point out, James McGing is just dominating this hockey game right now. His stick handling ability is second to none on the ice. And he's just making it look so easy. He looks like he's in like second gear or something right now. It's just amazing to see and shows the level of talent this hockey team has.
First line out for the Illini. Here's Cruikshank. Cruikshank 6 goals on the year. Now to his backhand looking for Richter. Now here's Mark Condotti. Doesn't have a goal yet this season. He'll tap one ahead with one hand on his stick. 4:10 left in the first period. Here's Stuve at the Illini's first goal. He shoots one. That one had to be defended well by Best. And Cruikshank's got it. Looking across for Condotti. Instead, he'll just toss one in as 2 men were around him. 3:58 left in the first period. 3-2 Illinois. Out to center, it's number 22, Shane Pluto. On the near side in the Illini zone, it's Richter. Richter, who's got a great set of wheels, goes wide on a pair of Bearcats, and he tosses one in. Gloved down by Best. And Cruikshank getting into it a little bit with number 6, Billy Lamb.
Those two are all smiles right now, so it looks like it's not going to escalate to anything right now, but watch out for later on in the game and possibly tomorrow too to see Cruikshank just starting to let himself a little bit more loose and he'll talk a little bit more to these Bearcats. We might see a little bit more extracurriculars.
Cristiano Simonetta with you. Eric Fisher alongside. The Big Pond here in Champaign, Illinois. Home team's up by 1, 3-2 over the McKendree University Bearcats. They scored the first 2 goals. The Bearcats did, and on great setups. But then the Illini, the response from them to score 3 straight and looking to add more. Here's Caprio now for Opilka along neutral ice. Alternate captain up for Moskluk. Moskluk, freshman of this program, sophomore in school year. And Moskluk's got the puck. He forced a turnover now back in front for Holmgren. And Holmgren wanted to backhand one home. Instead, it was knocked down. McKendree the other way. Now here's Young. Young fires one, and that'll be gloved by Heflin. 3:03 left in the first period. We get a stoppage. McKendree, though. So you get those first 2 goals. Now you find yourself trailing. Do you stick with the mantra that you had to start this hockey game, or do you start to deviate a little bit and possibly pinch at the line, try to get some more offense?
Well, the Illini have come back, and they really responded extremely well and started playing a lot more aggressive. So McKendree needs to come out, and they just have to get back to what they did in the beginning of the ice, which is playing fast and very controlled hockey. And the Illini just weren't ready for that defensively, and so far McKendree needs to pick it up if they want to get back into this game.
Caprio now for Opilka. Opilka for Wicklund. He has Sabo in the middle. Instead goes for Novacell. Onside play. Here's Wicklund with a drive, and that one was stopped. Oh, the senior looking for his first goal of the season and second in 2 seasons. As Sabo with a nice play. As Evan Sabo, he stood out early, wouldn't you have to say about him?
Oh, he does all the little things for this fourth line, and even though he doesn't have the numbers to really show what he does for this team, he's been a great addition coming over from ISU.
The former Redbird brings it back into the Bearcat zone. On the near side, 57. Here's Nas. Now out to center ice. It'll be shot in there, patted away by David Heflin off the stick of Wolf Davis. And now here's Nolan. 2:13 left in the first period. 3-2 Illini leading over the McKendree University Bearcats. Now here's Nolan. Nolan down low. As counter is pestered by number 5, Davis, as well as number 6, Lamb. And Davis with a nice move. Gets it out to center for his club. Moving along the left circle, it's number 27. That's Connor Brennan. Brennan trying to shake Rittendale. Plays one off the outside of the cage to himself. Now on the near side boards. Now to the end boards. Ernstling with a hit on Lamb. But the St. Louis native keeps chugging along. And the team in purple keeps it along. Now drop to the near side for Armstrong. Armstrong deking around Nolan. Armstrong already a goal tonight. Back to the top of the point. Ivasinko fakes a drive. Ivasinko fires one off the pad of Heflin. He saw that late, as there was many bodies in front. Kept in, though, by Armstrong. He's worked over by counter. Look at Levi Armstrong. He'll reverse it down low for number 27. That was Brennan, with 75 seconds left in the first period. Now back to the top of the point then. Exchange from Nichols from number 27, Brennan. Brennan's got it. Turns away from Ernsting. Leaves it for Nichols. The defenseman going in low. Try to deke through 2. Ernsting now for McGing, and here's James McGing. What can he do here? Is number 27. Brennan's a forward. Does he recognize it? Instead, counter goes off sides. 55.6 seconds left in the first period. McKendree with a late push. Heflin with a pair of dandy saves.
And that's great to see out of Heflin, too. For a goaltender, his mentality when he gets 2 quick goals scored against him can really go downhill. We've seen Heflin come out and make confident saves, especially with that glove like we're used to seeing him all year. And so he's coming out, and he looks like he's ready to play against Andrew Best tonight, who he's off to another shaky start. Not another shaky start, but he's off to a shaky start this game so far.
As Alex Ivasinko dumps that one down for icing. We'll get another stoppage, 48.7 seconds left in the first period. And Ivasinko, many players on this McKendree University club, they're not from the United States. Ivasinko is from Latvia, as we'll talk about the origins and the backgrounds of these players later on in the broadcast. But just interesting to point out, the recruiting process for the Bearcats, even though they're a new program, they're fully funded, and you could tell they just play like a cohesive unit. Down 3-2 to the Illini right now. Here's Stuve. Stuve had the puck knocked off his stick by Ivasinko. He keeps it alive, though, for Richter. Richter down low for Cruikshank. Reverse hit there. What a hit for Cruikshank. Now he's got it on the circle. He fires one, and that one is over the net, as Best was able to shoulder one away. 18 seconds left in the first period. It'll be a race. It's Jack Graham against number 12, Jason Belkey. Now on the near side. It'll be flipped out to the middle for Richter. Too far for him, and number 11, that's Lester. Plays it back with 4 seconds left in the first period. McKendree comes into this building. 2 quick goals.
Very quick.
In an arena where the Illini are dominant. 16-5-2 last season. They're undefeated this year. But what does the team in orange and gray do? Respond with 3 goals, and that's the score we have. 3-2 after 1 period. Eric Fisher, your thoughts on that overall set of 20?
Well, the Illini came out to another slow start, like we mentioned, the 3rd straight game in a row they've done that. And they're not going to be able to get away with that once they start to play teams like Ohio, Robert Morris, Lindenwood. And so they really need to fix that issue of their game right now. But you have to give a lot of credit to this McKendree squad. They came out and they executed anything they wanted, got 2 quick goals, but the Illini responded. James McGee being huge, having a great assist to Grant Suve to get the first goal of the night, and then a beautiful backhand shot to give the Illini a 3-2 lead.
How about Jack Graham, though?
Oh,
what a shot
goal
from the point, a 4-on-4 goal. Homer wins it back, and he went blocker side on best. You talked about depth earlier in that first period when we're referencing the forwards, but now we're able to talk about depth on the back end. How good is that moving forward for the Illini, who have struggled to fill in that bottom pair?
Oh, that's great. And like we mentioned before the season, that you and me were worried about the depth on the defensive line because you only have those top two pairings, and you would like to have three. But the way, especially Mark Andado, we've agreed that we think he's really stepped up for this team. And then see Jack Graham come out and emerge as the offensive defenseman in that pairing is huge for this Illini team. And going forward, especially once you get into conference play and then postseason play, definitely that defensive line pairing is going to be huge.
The Bearcats got off to that early lead. The Illini come back and take it. 3-2, Illinois over the Bearcats. We'll get you the first period intermission in just a couple of minutes. This is Illini Hockey presented by YouTube.
We saw the western coast, I saw the hospital, nursed the shoreline like a wound. Reports of lovers' trysts were neither clear nor descript. We kept it safe and slow, the quiet things that no one ever knows. Put your hand and feel the cry, take it time, and every drop down my body down.
And welcome out here to the Big Pond for our first intermission report. Illini up 3-2. We got yours truly, Eric Fisher, being the host of this intermission show. And we have Hamden Kyle, who is running the social media for us tonight, and he's going to be our analyst on our intermissions. Hamden, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How about you, Eric?
I'm doing good. So far, just what are your initial thoughts of this first period?
Well, I thought that it was a fast period with a lot of action throughout the period. Both the Illini and the Bearcats have been very, very good. But I have been a little bit disappointed in the amount of physical play so far in the game.
Now, tell me what you saw out of the Bearcats early on. They jump off to a quick 2-0 lead, getting two wide open shots, one on the power play and just one 5-on-5 action where they just lose Levi Strong, who is one of the most dangerous men on the ice, which is something you just can't have.
The Bearcats were just getting everyone open because they came out to the game a lot faster than the Illini did. The Illini looked really, really slow. The Bearcats were everywhere. They had people open, and they were calling for the puck with their mouths instead of just tapping their sticks.
All right, and then what'd you see? What were some of the key reasons you saw the Illini were able to climb back into this game?
Well, the Illini started playing defense, which was a big, big part of their game. All the defensemen were also moving the puck. They were getting the puck out of the zone, and they were starting those breakouts, which was really, really good for the Illini. And then in the offensive zone, the Illini were moving the puck, and whenever the players didn't have the puck, they were moving around, getting open, and looking for that shot.
And we saw the seniors really step up, James McGee and Grant Stewie, to help bring the Illini back into the game. How important is it to have those seniors really step up their game when they're facing a 2-0 deficit in a situation in which they should never be in that kind of deficit early on in this?
It's really important for the seniors to step up. They need to be the leaders of this team, which I know they are, and they need to score some goals, help get the young guys back into it.
And speaking of one of those young guys, Jack Graham on that third defensive line pairing, talk me through that play and just so far what you've noticed out of him this year that's allowed him to really come out and be a staple on that third line.
Jack Graham's been everywhere, and that play really started on the face-off win by Chance Holmgren. Chance put that puck right on Jack Graham's stick, and Jack Graham had a wide-open shot right on the right upper corner of the net.
Yeah, it was a beautiful shot by Jack Graham right there. Now, talk to me about the goaltender battle. We have Andrew Bess, who last season was 17-2, and then we have David Heflin, who was 11-2 respectively on his own last year as the backup goaltender. So what are you seeing out of this goaltender battle, and which one do you think has the advantage going into the second period?
Well, Best really hasn't stopped anything that's been high blocker side. I know the Illini have been targeting the glove side, but they really need to look more at the blocker because that's where the Illini have scored 3 out of 3 goals. Best has been very, very good low, and the glove side, the Illini have just been missing the net for some reason.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those glove shots just really go wide and go high on those, which is something that will probably get adjusted moving in farther into the weekend and into this game alone. But what do you see out of David Heflin? Because as a goaltender to really face a 2-0 deficit off the bat like that, you could really some guys might just start to draw back a little bit and play more conservative, but not the senior out of Mundelein, Illinois.
We haven't seen much out of Heflin. The Bearcats really haven't gotten the puck on the net very much, and when they have, they've scored. They really I believe they only had 6 shots on net in the first period. Heflin was good low. He stopped the pucks low, but the shots that have been high have both gone in.
All right, and then we've seen this fourth line for the Illini come out and really play well. It hasn't appeared on the stat sheet at all yet tonight, but I feel like they're just making a lot of little plays right now, and they're just being a real nuisance for the Bearcats. What have you noticed out of them?
Evan Sabo has been doing his best Dennis Savard impersonation with that spinorama pass. He's been all over the place, and his line mates have really been doing a good job. They've played the defensive game. They've been the most physical line for the Illini, and they've gotten the puck into the offensive zone and had some chances.
Yeah, Sable's been really hungry to get that first goal of the year, but just playing great team hockey in general. But let's talk about the most obvious thing, and that was James McGing just dominated that first period. What did you see out of him that allowed him to just have complete control of the action?
McGing has been able to dance around everyone on the Bearcats. He has much better puck control than anyone else on this Illini team, and he's shown it. He's shown why he is our star player. And he really has been able to find openings in the Bearcats' defense that no other player has been able to find, and he's been able to distribute and shoot the puck with authority.
Robert Ernstink, his line mate to James McGing, he's coming back from an upper body injury. That first game, you could maybe come back and be a little bit more subtle, but what have you seen out of Ernstink tonight that's helped him and McGing have such a hot start to this game?
Nothing subtle yet. Ernstink's been fast. He's been going. He seems like he has good energy, and he definitely really wanted to get back out onto the ice. He's been a lot faster than the rest of the players on the Bearcats, and he's been a good leader on the Illini first line tonight.
So far, Eric Cruikshank hasn't been able to get on the stat sheet tonight, but if you're watching the game, it's pretty clear that he's having an impact on what's going on out there. What are you seeing out of him, and what do you think he needs to do to get himself on the scoreboard tonight?
Well, I'm going to start off with defense. Cruikshank started off with a bad play out in front of the net on the penalty kill. He really should have been able to get that puck out, but he tried to take a slap shot and get it out instead of just wristing it out. So that was a bad play, which led to a Levi Armstrong goal for the Bearcats on a beautiful one-timer. But Cruikshank has been good other than that. He hasn't made any errors. He's been sharp defensively. We haven't seen him on the score sheet yet, as you mentioned, but I think we'll see him on the score sheet at some point tonight.
Cristiano and I had talked about it during the action, but this is 3 straight games for the Illini now where they've come out to very lackadaisical starts that have led to early goals being given up. What needs to change for that to happen? Because you're not going to get away with that like they are tonight once you start playing against some of the top teams in the ACHA.
They look slow coming out. Like, they have so much more speed after the other team scores a goal. It's almost like they need to be scared into playing well, which is something that has to change for Nick Fabrini's team.
All right, we're about to wrap up this second minute intermission here. What are your final thoughts for that first period, and then what are some of your thoughts coming into the second period? Are there some players that you're going to be keening in on to really make a difference, or what? Just overall thoughts?
I'm going to be looking at the 2 star players, James McGing and Levi Armstrong. Those 2 players have been the keys for both of their teams, and those guys are going to be the ones who we'll see on the score sheet most frequently.
All right, and then score prediction for after 2 periods of play.
4-4 at the beginning of the third.
Oh, wow. So Hamden over here thinking that McKendree's going to fight back into this game to even it all up going into the third period. But this has been your first intermission report brought to you by YouTube.com. Thank you all for tuning in for us, and we'll have a second period play back to you in a couple minutes.
Back to the street where we began, feeling as good as others can, you know. Yeah, we're feeling so good, picking up things we shouldn't read. It looks like the end of history as we know. It's just the end of the world. Back to the street where we began, feeling as good as love you could, you can. Into a place you do? We're feeling so good, just the way that we do when it's not in the afternoon.
We welcome everybody back into the big pond here for the start of the second period. I'm Cristiano Simonetta, joined by Eric Fisher, Hamden Kyle in the intermissions. Pretty good, guys.
Yeah, it's going smooth so far. This short staff we have here tonight, just us three. But, I mean, we've had a pretty exciting first period of hockey, and we'll see what happens the rest of the game.
Stephen Cohn, of course, not here. Kenzie Bach, not here. But, hey.
We're here.
It keeps chugging along, and you know who else keeps chugging along? The Illini after
Hockey.
down 2-0.
I was waiting for that one.
Yeah, you got to hang it out there just a little bit. We're at the start of the second period here. The Illini up 3-2 over the McKendree University Bearcats. Jack Graham had a goal in that first period. Grant Stuve and James McGing, arguably the goal of the season.
Oh, yeah, it was just a very beautiful backhand shot. He was just dancing around the Bearcats defense that entire time, and eventually, whenever he felt like shooting it, he just buried it in right past Andrew Best, who's had a great start to the year, but given up 3 goals in this first period.
Yeah, Andrew Best, we mentioned it. We mentioned it twice. We'll mention it a third time. 17-2 last season, 3-1 so far this year, and he's allowed 2.76 goals against. He's already allowed 3 through the first frame. Now let's see what this second set of 20 minutes will leave to the imagination. Now along the left circle. Here's Cruikshank, now along the middle area. He pesters Wilson. Here's Cruikshank, now moving in on his backhand. Has a man in front that was number 25, Stuve. This could be a 2-on-1 for McKendree. Here comes Wilson along the left circle. He moves and he fires one, and a great right shoulder save by Heflin. He had to be good there.
Beautiful.
And now McKendree with it once more. Levi Armstrong had a goal in that first period. Drops it now for number 27, Brennan. Brennan for Armstrong. They interchange 35 seconds into this second period. 3-2 our score. Brennan stops and starts around Caprio. He's got 2 men open at the point. Goes for Ivasenko. Ivasenko. Oh, and a nice jump there from Stuve, but he couldn't get enough on it to spring himself on a breakaway as that was Cole Dezan to the left point. And here is number 22. That's Opilka spinning around a man. That was Wilson. And Opilka jump starts this Illini rush, but Richter touched that puck on the opposite side of the neutral zone. This one's going to be icing. 18:59 left in the second period. Do you think Richter could have been able to reach that red line just a little bit if he took one more step? That's all it took.
Yeah, I think so, but that's just those little plays that are going to happen every once in a while. It's not a big deal unless McKendree wins his face-off and they get themselves a solid scoring opportunity. So the little things can come back to bite you, and we'll see what happens.
Here's number 44, Daniel Nordlander, out of Switzerland. He's got it at the far side. Now lays it in for number 11. That's Lesterek. Lesterek once again. Now down for Nordlander. Nordlander Now for Nas. 18:40 left in this first period. Nordlander fakes a drive, now puts one on. That was knocked in the low slot there by Cruikshank. Nas spins off of him. Nas on his backhand, left-handed shot, goes cross corner now for Nordlander. 1-2, 1-3, and now that shot is blocked. Oh, boy. They're trying to hit those middle area passes off that kick-out play, and instead the Illini dodge a bullet there with Heflin with the pad stop. Once again, it's the visitors with the early jump. Here's Nas moving into the circle. He fires one. No, he held on to it. Oh, he faked everybody out of the building, including Heflin, who committed there. And Nas has it behind the net. 57 in purple. He's had a heck of a shift. Now down low for Lestrick. Lestrick off the back of the cage for number 15. That's Blair Davies. Davies down to the right point for Nordlander. Out for Nas at the slot. Opilka late on his shift. Tries to bank it out. It's a scramble at the top of the line. Still in there for McKendree. 17:48 left in this second period. 3-2 Illinois. And now Nas backhands one in. And now, again, the Illini are just going to ice it where you can hold on to the puck in that situation. You can. Or you try and make that two-line pass hit off a body. Doesn't end up well for number 5, Joey Caprio and Tyler Opilka. They're gassed. They've had a shift for 2 minutes and 24 seconds.
Oh, yeah, and Andrew Richter's gassed especially, and Caprio was looking for him on that stretch pass. But Richter was heading to the bench ready to end his shift. And so this is a great opportunity for McKendree here, and it's going to be important to see if they could capitalize.
But the Illini with a crucial defensive zone win. Now here's Richter. Richter hitting Ernsting. Ernsting to his backhand. And Richter, instead of staying with the play, goes off the bench. And luckily, McKendree wasn't able to capitalize, but it's those little things, Eric, that we're able to see up in the treehouse here at the Big Pond that the casual fan may not be able to. But Richter just made a beeline for the bench when the puck is still a 50-50 area.
Very risky play that can really lead to devastating effects for your team.
And now McGing isn't looking where the pass was coming from counter. McKendree has to go off sides. So a bit of a lackluster start in terms of mental mistakes by Illinois as counter has a 1-on-4. Battles. His pass was intercepted by number 12. That's Belke. Belke on the backhand looking for Ivasenko. They get it back to the far side for number 9. That's Travis Bobb. The sophomore lays it in below. As now Opilka taps one for Ernsting and outlets it ahead for Counter. Counter on the left circle. He's got a lot of space. David Counter tried to drop one for Ernsting, intercepted by Bobb. And the New York native had it stripped away, though, by McGing. McGing pirouettes and holds. Now moving in on the toe drag effort as that was Rittendale cutting the net, and he's going to draw a penalty as number 32. That was Josh Donovan. Delayed penalty. Heflin off. If the Illini score, they'll keep the power play. 6 attackers on. Now here's McGing toying with the opposition. They respect his skill. Now go for Ernsting. Back to the far side, half boards for McGing. Now out in front. That's gloved down by Ivasenko. But 2 minutes on Donovan for hooking. At 3 minutes and 54 seconds in, the Illini had their first power play of the night.
Yeah, and we talked to Joey Rittendale a couple weeks ago about getting more involved offensively, and that's what we saw in that play. Last year, I don't know if you saw Rittendale crash the net like he did on there, but this year he's made an effort alongside Joe Nolan to really be an offensive threat on that second line defensive pairing, and that's just great to see so far this season, and it's giving the Illini a power play right here.
And we mentioned the Bearcats' efficiency on the power play, 31%. That goes up after they scored on that power play in the first period. The Illini enter the game, a power play percentage of 29.6. As here's Joe Nolan. His pass was broken up. He gets it back. Nolan on the backhand for Counter. Counter skating on the wide side, taking number 6, Billy Lamb. Drops it for Richter at the left point. Now here's Nolan. Nolan on the backhand for Homer. Homer on the right point. Now Nolan fires one, and that's gloved. And Best didn't know he even had that. But nonetheless secures it. 28 seconds gone by in the power play. 4 minutes and 22 seconds gone by in the second. 3-2 Illinois.
And Illinois is having their first power play unit come on now with Cruikshank, Ernsting, McGing, Tyler Opilka, and who am I missing here?
So we got Stube on that left side.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm missing Stube. And this is the most dangerous unit the Illini could put on the ice here for this power play.
Ernsting wins it back to the left point from McGing. So 4 forwards out for the Illini. Now here's Cruikshank left circle. Excuse me, that's right circle. Cruikshank fell down. Opilka holds the line. Now back at the far side for McGing. James McGing, 11 assists, 4 goals. Now out to the middle for Stube. He tried to tap one ahead, and that one's kicked away off the left skate of Best.
Stube was looking for Cruikshank on that opposite side right there, but it just gets deflected.
As here's Cruikshank now for Opilka, shooting one that was deflected. As Stube was in the vicinity. Stube back again for Opilka. A minute left on the Illini power play. 2 minutes against Donovan for hooking. Here's McGing circling in. Thought he had Stuve, but wasn't looking at the pass, and now it'll be played along the boards for number 18. That's Golovko. And Golovko just kills some time, 17 seconds of it. 40 seconds left in the lineup. Power play. Ernsting shakes a man, now going to the middle area. Here comes Bobby Ernsting on the right circle. Drops one for Stuve. The Illini gain the zone. On the near side. It's the Roselle, Illinois native. Back from McGing, the Chicago, Illinois native. Out for Opilka. Tyler Opilka waging his options out for Cruikshank. One-timer. He shot that one over the net. As Cruikshank can really bring it, and he missed everything. McGing hits him again. Number 15. Fakes one. Now for Opilka. 10 seconds left in the Illini power play. Cruikshank left point. Now down low for Stuve. Stuve fan on the pass. Now back for Cruikshank. The Illini have got to get a shot on here. Here's Opilka. Power play about to end. And now tipped out in front of a great save there by Best as McGing was in the clear. And right at the goal line, Andrew Best kills off the penalty. They say your goaltender's got to be your best penalty killer. And Best amplifies that.
Oh, definitely. But McGing, he just didn't get that puck exactly where he wanted to. He had Best wide open on this blocker side, on the left side of this blocker. But Best just jumped over so quick to stuff that immediately. And like you mentioned, your goaltender is your best penalty killer, and Best has proven it so far.
Homer wins the draw now for Justin Reese. Here's Rindale right point. He looks for a tip play, and that was knocked some friendly fire for number 22, Pluto. As Shane Pluto battling on the end boards with Moskalik. Reese moving in for a shoulder check. Now Homer on the drive. Rebound chance for Moskalik. He kicks to his stick and can't get to it. Now he's got the puck on his stick, though. 13:48 left in the second period. Look at Chance Homer. Good to see him back now for Moskalik. Plays it through a man's skates. And McKendree the other way. Holmgren attempted to check Golovko, who skates one down. And Heflin comes out to play it for Nolan. Now for Rittendale. Near side in the Illini zone. 6 minutes and 30 seconds gone by in this middle frame. 3-2. Moskalik had that one gloved down by Pluto. That one was smacked down by Holmgren. He believes it was underneath the crossbar. Instead, the referees don't think so, as he's motioning to the officials. Always the theatrics from number 9 in orange and gray. Nonetheless, a stoppage at neutral ice. 13:21 left in the second.
I'm starting to notice the pace of this game is really ramped up here in this last couple minutes, which is what we saw towards the end of the first period. And so if this continues, if this sort of pace continues, we're going to see a lot more goals scored in this game potentially.
Face off at that block eye, controlled by McKendree. Now shaking in is number 44. That's Nordlander. Nordlander has shined in this hockey game. 13:08 left in the second period. Hasn't gotten on the goal sheet so far tonight, but has 5 points in 6 games coming in. Now here's Nolan. Alley-oop play for number 28, Sabo. Skokie, Illinois native. Boarded along. Now here's Novosel. Novosel's checked by number 11. That's Lesterek. And canceled out was Sabo again from number 8, Nichols. And McKendree trying to instill a bit of physicality as we're back along the right circle in the Illini zone. It's now swing for a tip play as Lesterek had his stick tied up by number 27, Nolan. Now here's Wicklund. Could be a brief 2-on-1 for Illinois. Wicklund looking in front for Sabo. That one went over Rittendale's stick, the late man. 12:30 left in this second period. McKendree clears the puck down. David Heflin hasn't had to be too busy in this middle frame, but some of the stops that he's had to make, he's been ready for. Now Sabo, almost too many men there for McKendree as they were changing. Instead, it's offside. 7 minutes and 43 seconds into the second period. Do you like this beginning to the middle frame if you're Illinois, or do you think they're playing a little bit too cautious?
I think they're actually playing very aggressive right now. They're making a lot of stretch passes from their own zone towards the blue zone of McKendree's. So we're going to see what happens there and whether or not they get penalized at all for it.
Ernsting with a nice exchange with McGing out in front for Kellner, and he slides into the blue paint, avoiding Best, who had to cover that one up. 7 minutes and 54 seconds into the second period. You can't talk enough about this second line for Bobby Ernsting, a freshman last year, coming in, growing into his own as a sophomore. Pairing him with James McGing, it's been nothing but magic so far throughout these first 7 games. Oh, absolutely. And someone that's really underrated on this team is David Kellner, who tonight we've seen him draw multiple defenders the entire time. Ming backdoor for Graham. Oh, my goodness. Check Graham as James McGing on that far side pass. That would have been something else as Jack Graham, instincts of a defenseman there, to sink in below, and Kellner shakes off a hit from number 32, Donovan. As the Illini keep it. McGing down low, intercepted by Donovan. Lays one around to the near side for Ivasenko. Adesinko leads this team in penalty minutes. Now here's McGing. One hand on his stick. Donovan plays back to the right point. The man will be there. Number 12, that's Jason Belkey. Drops for number 9, that's Bob. Bob attempted to dangle through. Illinois could have numbers here. Here comes Bobby Ernstine. Gains a line. Left circle. He's got a man cutting. Instead, it's Jack Graham. He moves and he fires one, and that was stopped by Best. And Graham knew he had room, judging by his reaction.
He wants that one back.
How good has he been? We did not expect a guy like Jack Graham to come into this third pairing. Well, now, he had 25 points in 25 games against D2 opponents last year. But in this D1 club, this D1 roster, he does not look out of place by any means.
No, not at all. And something I'm really starting to notice is that he's starting to gain a real chemistry for James McGing. And that's going to keep him out there, because if he has great chemistry with McGing, McGing's going to find him wide open at times, and he's going to get wide open opportunities like that.
Opilka goes cross corner. As Caprio with a turnover. Now this could be a 2-on-2, maybe a 3-on-2. Moving over the red line, over the blue line. A shot there was wide. As I don't think number 22, Shane Pluto, knew that he had an ensuing 3-on-2 rush. 11 minutes left in this second period. 3-2 Illinois. Cristiano Cimento with you right now. Eric Fisher alongside. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube. Here's Richter. Hoping for Stuve. Richter's got it in his skates. Attempted to toe drag. And Richter with a steal. On the blue line. Going wide. Has Stuve in behind. Instead out in front for Crookshank, but he was tied up by number 18, Golovko. Stuve stops and starts on a man. That was Pluto. As his pass missed everybody. Opilka will have to go circle into his own zone. 3-2. 10 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second. Richter drops. It could be a 2-on-1 for Illinois. Off the bench, it's Homer. Now in front, Justin Reese on his back, and he fires one, and that went high. And now it's Richter. Reese waved at one. But a nice pass there from Homer, who's been an underrated dish man on this Illini team. You look at his numbers with assists. He had 1 tonight, so he's got 5 in only 5 games. Holmgren producing. Reese producing.
Oh, yeah, we're seeing Reese on that third line now.
And now Moskalik out in front. Reese has it off a bank play. He shoots one. Stop. Rebound try is Best. Puts his trapper over it. We get a whistle 10 minutes and 5 seconds into the second. And that's Illini hockey. Getting the pucks to the front of the net and battling for it. Getting those garbage goals, as we saw Rick Hatton score his first ever as a member of the Illini last weekend. Reese, nice instincts there, tossing one on. Best has been controlling his rebounds and making sure the Illini don't get any second chance opportunities.
Yeah, and it's great to see Reese succeeding so well so far this season. As coming into the year, he told me he didn't even think he had a roster spot. So now he's being a huge contributor on this third line for the Illini, and that's just great for him.
Moskalik down low for Holmgren. Holmgren tried to play one up, and now it's McKendree. Here they come down the right side. It's number 17, Wilson, stops up. His pass was deflected. Now along the near side. The half-board's there as Moskalik battles. Moving through again as Wilson. Could be a 2-on-1 for McKendree. Wilson, toe drags, now out in front, in between the legs of a man. That was number 27, Brennan. It's still in the crease. They whack at it, and Heflin pounces on the loose puck, and Reese takes a shot to the head. And now we're going to have a scrap here. 9:24 left in the second period. Reese goes down.
Like a punch.
And it did look like he got socked. Looked like against Marcus Foligno last night. So it's tough when after the whistle you want to stand your ground, but when a guy just hits you with that leather mitt, it doesn't feel good no matter if you've got a helmet on.
Well, absolutely, and if you're going to crowd Heflin like that, you know you're going to get a response out of the Illini, and that's what we saw right there. And if the refs do rule that as a punch, then he's going to be Wilson's going to be tossed from the game, and he's going to be suspended for tomorrow's game, and that could be huge. That could have huge circumstances for the Saturday night game. But it looks like Rittendale and Reese is going to be in the box.
So Wilson, the other one. Now, if they give Rittendale this extra minor, it's tough from what we saw. Now, the refs, of course, see something different, and they have their own interpretation. But the luxury of us is, and as well as the fans listening in, they could go in right on that instant replay. As you look at this pass out in front, Connor Brennan tries to go between his legs, and there's a scramble for it, and Reese is on that left side, and he takes a cross check, and then he gets one up high.
Gets one right on the side of the head right there, and then that's where you see Rittendale, captain of this team, step in and defend his players, and I just don't see how the Illini should be penalized at all for this. McKendree's the one that initiated the conflict, and then the Illini responded, which I could see why that would be a penalty. But I feel like he should be tossed for that punch.
Now, we, of course, are an Illini broadcast, but if we saw Eric Cruikshank and
absolutely.
McGing, and we've seen
No,
that
they
happen,
have,
and we
dude.
have called them out on
Absolutely.
that. When you punch a player like that in the ACHA, no matter if your glove's on or not, you have to get at least a 4-minute, a double minor for 2 roughing.
And we saw McGing last year cost the Illini their potential playoff run when he got suspended in their first playoff game for a stupid fight that he started in their last regular season.
Nonetheless, 5-on-4 for McKendree, a chance for them to tie. Now it's Lester. He fires one. That one went high. 9:05 left in the second period. 1:40 left on the Bearcats power play, and this is as good of a time to capitalize again. They're already 1-for-1 on the power play. Here's Armstrong. Now for Reeder. Ryan Reeder out to the point for number 8, Nichols. For Reeder again, left circle. He fires one, stop there by Heflin. Rebound try for Nas. Wraparound try, right pad save there by Heflin. 8:40 left in the second period, 1:18 left as they gave Joey Rittendale, the captain, that extra minor. Scramble on the end boards. Nas backhands one for Ryan Reeder, a Granite City, Illinois native. No goals so far on the year. Boy, would he love one here. Now Nichols, back for Lesterick. Illini pressuring him. Now for Nas. Nas goal line play. Fakes one, and he had Heflin moving. Tried to go against the grain. Missed everything. The Illini benefit. It goes all the way down. 50 seconds left on the 5-on-4.
He was able to draw Heflin out of the blue paint right there, and he had a great shot opportunity, just missed it wide.
Caprio now for Nolan, and he'll spring one all the way down. Best chooses not to play it. Cruikshank is skated around there by Nordlander, and the hacks there from Cruikshank. He's lucky none of them connected because that could have put the Illini to a 5-on-3. And here's Nordlander. 25 seconds left on the power play. Here's Brennan. Brennan taking Cruikshank wide on the far side. Now down low. Brennan again. Nordlander can really bring it. Instead, it's Brennan. Right circle. Down low looking for a pass out in front. Through a body. And this one is knocked back to the far side for number 15. That's Davies. Davies with 7 seconds left on the Bearcats power play. And Cruikshank is just going to get it. And he'll take it to the blue line. Spring David Counter. Counter may have a break on the right side. David Counter moving in. He shoots one. That one is stopped. And a rebound try with one hand on his stick. And that couldn't go. David Counter, you mentioned his underrated skill. How about his underrated speed? We're back to 5-on-5. The Illini with a crucial penalty kill there. 12 minutes and 42 seconds into the second.
We talk about how it looks like sometimes that Robert Ernstine and James McGinn are going half speed. That's just the opposite for David Counter. Both sides of the ice, he's going 100 miles per hour. And that's what we saw right there. It's a short, Illini are short-handed, but David Counter doesn't care. And he's going 100 miles per hour to give the Illini a potential short-handed goal. And then you got to love this second effort too, because it shows the coach just how much he really wants it. And so seeing that out of your junior forward on your second line is just great to see.
And David Counter, you look at his stat line. When he is healthy, he is productive. Through 6 games this season, he has 7 points, currently riding a 5-game point streak.
And being on that second line, you're going to rack up those points. And so it's just you just have to be involved, and that's what David Counter is all the time. Whether or not he's drawing multiple defenders along the boards or if he's right in front of the ice, he seems to always be in the middle of the action.
Holmgren on the draw against Jake Young to the left of Best. As now we see a man in the penalty box. That was Nordlander. He escapes. And it looks like we'll stay at 5-on-5. I had no idea why he was in the penalty box there. He shouldn't have been.
Oh, I don't know what was happening.
As we're back to 5 each on the ice, even strength. A lot of weird things happen in the big pond there as 7:10 left in this second period. Cristiano Simonetta with you right now. Eric Fisher alongside. Illinois nursing this 1-goal lead, which they acquired in the first period thanks to a goal scored by James McGing. Here's Mark Condotti, sophomore blue liner, out for fellow sophomore Chance Holmgren. He taps one in. Justin Reese almost forced a steal, and he's still going to be pestering the opposition there as Young has to turn back and spiral one to the far point for number 22. As that, of course, was Pluto. Now here's Holmgren, has Reese on his right. Holmgren in, he's got Justin Reese, and he shoots, and it's a stop there by Best with the right toe. Moskva couldn't get the rebound. Back and forth action here as that pass missed number 12. That was Belke. They're onside, though, the Bearcats. 6:23 left in the second period. A man goes down. Now on the near side, it's Holmgren. Holmgren's got 2 guys in the middle. Instead, he's tied up. Now here's Reese, and Holmgren again along the red line, over the blue line, gains right circle. As Moskva got pot, he kicks it, and now this could be, oh, wow, they got really lucky there as Jason Belke had his head up, and got that puck in his control. And they may have another 2-on-1, but Dominic Noss has the puck skip over his stick. McKendree hurting themselves with these odd man rushes.
Yeah, and the Illini just having sloppy line shifts, which is something you can't have in this close of a game.
Here's Wicklund. He has Sabo in front. And Wicklund now for Sabo. Sabo's got Rittendale at the point, hits him. Joey Rittendale shoots one, looking for a wide deflection off the outside of the cage. Here's Novosel. Novosel lost the puck, but Wicklund's going to battle for it with Davies on the far side. Down to 5.5 minutes left in this second period. Skate to stick move there by Wicklund along the end boards. He's pressured by number 11. That's Lesterick. And to the middle, it's Noss. Noss with a great pass, springing Lesterick, who's riding a 6-game point streak. He fires one off the outside of the cage. Now 5:14 left in the second period. Sabo does the responsible thing, getting it out to center ice, not far enough for icing. The fourth line, at least number 28, is able to get off. Rittendale blocks a pass. Now out for number 89, it's Cole DeZand. Illinois back on it. Rittendale, how does McGing stop that pass? And he does it beautifully. Gains the line, fakes around a man out of the left circle. James McGing, we love to see him on that protection move with one hand on his stick. He's brought down. On the far side, it's Counter. Counter checks a man. Instead, it's number 7, Armstrong, leading the way for McKendree. Gets it back out to the block eye. McGing tried for some innovative moves to get back on side. He was very close. The refs caught him. 15:22 into this second period. We saw 5 goals in the opening frame. Nada throughout this second.
Not so far. I want to go back to that 2-on-1 opportunity that Reese and Holmgren had. Now, I would have liked to seen Reese give it back to Holmgren for that one last chance. I know it would have been a tough pass, and possibly one too many, but I feel like Holmgren would have had a perfect opportunity to bury it in the back of the net.
McKendree wins the draw in the offensive zone. Second line out for Nick Fabrini's club. Now here's McGing. McGing shaking away. Number 17, that was Wilson. Now here's Counter over the red line, over the blue line, now gaining in left circle. He'll backhand one in. Brennan to the puck. Alongside with Ernsting. And Counter's forechecking is going to cause Cole DeZand to have to maneuver his way through. And he'll force a turnover here. And now it's on the stick of Brennan. But the Illini doing a great job of clogging up that offensive zone and making it difficult for them to get it out. And now here's Ernsting, top of the circle, moving in. He fires one, looking for a deflection from Counter, and that one was skittering away to the right circle. And here comes McKendree. A diving play there. It's going to be legal, and a 2-on-1. Here's McGing out in front for Counter, looking for a backdoor play, which you had just described, but Counter was knocked down to his knees. And now a play for Wilson, who had the puck skip over his stick. Heflin with a fake pass. 3:38 left in the second period. Stretch play for McGing and Ernsting. As here's McGing along the near side. He comes away, takes a high stick to the face, as that's number 5 for McKendree, going to be the recipient of a high sticking penalty. That's Davis. And McGing got one in the trachea.
Yeah, if we have blood drawn, then we're going to see them maybe get even more time on this power play as well. So we'll see what the call is for there.
As Wolf Davis, only 1 goal through 3 games, takes a costly penalty for his team, but when James McGing skates around you like that, the next option is to hook him, to trip him, to slash him. That's how good he is, as he already has a goal and an assist tonight. And he almost had another assist off that pass to Counter.
Now, in that situation, I felt like Kellner should have just went for the shot. I thought he was going for one too many, and the defender was clearly right there to clog up the lane. So I feel like he should have just shot the puck, and that could have led to a rebound opportunity.
You line into the power play. It's Joe Nolan. As Richter for a one-timer, that's sticked away by Best. Now for number 44, Nordlander. Can he get it out? No. Joe Nolan with an active keep-in along the left circle. Here's the freshman blue liner. Now for Homer in right circle for a deflection. That's tipped off the left toe. Counter was in front and got his lumber to it. Now here's Richter. Great chances for the Illini early. Nolan with a drive. That one missed. Now for Homer. Homer on the right circle. Joe Nolan. Backdoor for Counter. Counter will spin, do a pirouette. Now back to the right point for Homer. 4 forwards again on this second unit for head coach Nick Fabrini. Counter passing in front. And that missed Moskaluk's stick.
Moskaluk's not really looking for it right there either.
Here's Drew Richter. Now the point for Nolan. Holmgren's got a bomb. Can he let it rip? Now here's Nolan. He drives right pad save there. And a backhanded effort was stifled by Best. Counter didn't get enough on it. But Nolan got enough of that point shot. And Best, we've seen him kick out the pillows. He's been great too.
Oh, yeah. What's been so great about Best so far on this penalty kill is that he's not letting up any costly rebounds. the ones he are loading up are right in front of him, and his team's able to get to him right away. And then the ones that he can't quite draw out to his team, he's just covering up.
Now here come the big guns. First Illini unit on the power play. It's Stuve right circle. Now for Opelka, 2 men crowd him, but he gives it away for Ernsting. Ernsting down low from McGing, trying to set up Crookshank, and that pass is knocked away by DeZand. He clears it away. 40 seconds left in the Illini power play. You shook your head. What were you thinking?
He forced it. That pass was clearly not there, and that's just going to cost him about 10 to 15 seconds on this power play.
Here's Opelka as Crookshank through the middle. Over the block guy, over the blue. Crookshank, nice pass to Spring Stuve on the near side. Grant Stuve shakes away a check. Now here's Crookshank. Hacked at by DeZand, killing some time along the end boards. 3 Illini to 1 Bearcat. Now McGing has it. Along the high circle, wanted a one-timer instead of to settle down the pass. 10 seconds left in the Illini power play. McGing skating on his backhand, leaves one for Ernsting, left point. Now here's McGing. McGing for Ernsting, fakes a slap shot. Opelka's got to let this one go. Now in front, oh wow, as McGing had a chance, as Stuve missed a high slot play. But the Illini keep it in the McKendree territory. Now dump down. Here's McGing. And McKendree maybe on a 2-on-1 as this is Davies on the right circle. Blair Davies pushed wide there by Opelka. You see the little things, what he does right. Instead of cutting to the inside on him, he just pushes him away.
Yeah, that was a great play by Opelka. And that's what you guys see out of your assistant captains. Just making those little plays that are going to bring energy to your team.
And Heflin with a nice play there to get it to the blue line. Illinois could have a 3-on-2. Here's Justin Reese, right circle, under a minute to play in the second. Now here's Rittendale for Justin Reese. Reese down low for Moskluck on the outside of the cage. He fumbled with it. Reese is canceled. Now for Holmgren. 38 seconds left to go in the second period. 3-2 Illinois. Holmgren on his backhand. Lestrick trying to take it away. Holmgren escapes, though. Has a backdoor play. It's Joe Nolan. He fires one, and that's a great chest save. The puck is still loose as it's back to the end boards where Moskluck attempted to cancel out Davies. Illinois keeps. 20 seconds left in the second period. And now wafting one down was Donovan. Nass will be the first one to it along the left circle. He's by himself. 10 seconds left in the second period. As Moskluck's going to bump into Himmel on the near side with 5 seconds to go in the second period. Maybe one last chance for Illinois. 3, 2. Moskluck fires. That's now off the stick of Donovan. Well, that was a clear chance for Joe Nolan to extend the Illini lead to 2. Best lives up to his last name.
Yeah, it's not very often you don't see Nolan convert on those so far this season, as he had a wide open shot opportunity. But Best, once again, just stuffing every shot that's facing him so far. Probably these last 5 minutes of this period, he's just been locked down. And he's honestly been the best player on the ice for McKendree this second period by far.
Well, I mentioned it, 5 goals in that first period, none in the middle frame. So what? An offensive explosion, 7 goals here in the third period? What do you think?
I still feel like the pace kicked up in this second period, but neither side was just able to convert. We saw great goaltending on both sides as Heflin started off the period extremely hot, making great saves. And then we saw it was Best turned on the other side, and he stepped his game up to another level in the match, Heflin. So I feel like this was a goaltender battle the second period, as each side both had great shot opportunities.
Now we'll move into the second period intermission in just a couple of minutes. But before I let you go, if there's one score, and you may cover this in the second period intermission, but if there's one guy you think that's going to cash in, whether it be on McKendree or the Illini, who's it going to be?
I think Crookshank's going to cash in this third period. Last year, all we did was call him Mr. Third Period, and I feel like in moments like these, this is where you're going to see the senior really step up.
Illini.
I know you need it, do you feel it? Drink the water, drink away. Oh, we gotta turn up the crazy. Living like a washed up celebrity. Shooting fireworks like it's the 4th of July.
Hi, everybody. We welcome you into the Big Pond here in Champaign, Illinois for the first game of two between the McKendree Bearcats and the University of Illinois fighting Illini. I'm Cristiano Simonetta, Eric Fisher alongside. It's basically just us tonight.
It is. We're a little short-staffed
Hamden
tonight.
Kyle will join us in the intermissions,
Yep,
but that's about it.
That's it.
But hey, there's still a hockey game to be played. Illinois 6-0 on the season. Is this something that we expected going in despite whatever the schedule may be? They had a lot of moving parts, a lot of freshmen in the lineup, still finding ways to get points.
Yeah, I think so. This is definitely something you and me at least, saw coming into the season. The level of competition they were facing right off the bat, we knew was not going to be able to match them. And at the same time, this Illini squad, I feel like, is overperforming of what we thought too. We've underestimated the amount of depth they had on this team, and Fabrini's mentioned it several times that he feels like all four lines can just go off at any point in time. So I feel like this Illini squad is just far and beyond an offensive juggernaut, and I feel like we might see that here tonight.
11 Illini players in the lineup tonight have active point streaks. The offense has continued its rampant scoring pace, outscoring opponents 35-7. How realistic do you think it is to keep this outreach, I guess, of goal production leading to wins moving forward? Do you still think that they're just going to be able to obliterate every team they face down the line?
Oh, I doubt it for sure. Once they start getting the conference play against Ohio and Lindenwood, those are going to be very tough competition. So I feel like it's going to drop a little bit, but at the same time, it's going to really test this Illini team. And if they could come out maybe and get a hot start to conference play, then maybe we'll see a lot more confidence start to build up, and we'll see them start to put up numbers like they have like here in non-conference play.
Well, if there's a reason to have confidence in the lineup, look no further than number 24, Bobby Ernstine, comes back in the lineup. He returns after missing 2 games with an upper body injury. Sophomore has 6 points through 4 games. How essential is he to the success of this offense?
Oh, he's huge. He's been the glue. He's been the glue to the second line for the Illini, which has been so dominant. Of course, you have James McKendree, who's the star player of this team. But you have Bobby Ernstine, who's allowed James to take a more subtle approach to the game and be more of a shooter, which he mentioned earlier in the season was something new to him, because Ernstine's become more of the facilitator on that line, and that's allowed this second line, along with David Kellner, who's really stepped up this year so far, to really be explosive as they are. And then you've also seen Ernstine be a two-way player. He's been on the first line for the penalty kill for the Illini this season.
I know you need it, do you feel it? Drink the water, drink the wine. Oh, we gotta turn up the crazy. Living like a washed up celebrity. Shooting fireworks like it's the 4th of July. Until we feel alright. Until we feel alright. Deep through the bait, catch the shark, bleed the water red. 50 words for murder, and I'm every one of them. My touch is black and poisonous, and nothing like my punch. Drunk, kiss, I know you need it. Do you feel it? Drink the water, drink the wine. Oh, we gotta turn up the crazy.
And welcome back to the Big Pond here in Champaign, Illinois. We have your second intermission report. Eric Fisher, Hamden Kyle, our analyst on our intermissions tonight. Hamden, what'd you see out of the Illini? No goals are scored, but on paper it looks like they dominated them, outshooting the Bearcats 15-3 that second period.
The Illini were all over with the shots. They were winning face-offs, getting the puck on the net, and they were outplaying the Bearcats. But that was overall a very sloppy period by both teams.
And we saw Andrew Best just really step up and shut down the Illini to keep him off the boards. What'd you see out of him that you liked so much?
Well, Best really made improvements on stopping shots on the high glove, high blocker sides. He was getting everything in those areas, and I think now the Illini need to target that 5-hole, which is where we haven't really seen them shoot much today.
Yeah, we saw that Joe Nolan opportunity at the end of the period. He got high on it, but we saw Best stand up and really shut down any opportunity of that hitting the back of the net. But let's talk a little bit more about McKendree. Let's face it, they got dominated that second period and they didn't get punished for it. What needs to happen for them to be able to get back in this game and get a W here this Friday?
Well, McKendree has kind of been hurting themselves tonight. What they need to do is they need to catch passes, make passes, and communicate. Their players have been running into each other. They've been all over the place, and all over the place in a bad way. And they just have been playing terrible hockey this game. I thought they were going to come back and make this a close game, but as of now, I haven't seen much life out of that team.
All right, let's talk about the Illini power play. It's been very successful so far this season, and they had some great opportunities there. I didn't think it looked bad tonight. Do you think it was just being the best penalty killer out there, or do you feel like the Illini needed to improve on certain areas to really take advantage of their special teams?
Best has been very good tonight, but the Illini do need to do better on special teams. They've moved the puck around, but they haven't really gotten it on net. What they need to do is they need to get a body in front of Best so that he can't see the puck. They've been trying, but the forwards in front have been getting pushed out, so the Illini have just been passing around the outside of the zone right up at the blue line. They need to get pucks on the net and let Joe Nolan bring it with his slap shot.
Now, we commended James McGee on dominating the first period, but to me personally, I thought he tried to force a little too much there. What are your thoughts?
McGee was getting a little bit fancy that period. He was forcing passes, he wasn't looking for the open guy, and he didn't really have his head up. I think McGee, if he picks his head up, he's definitely the best player on the ice. So I think we're going to see that from him in the third period.
Now, one of the more controversial plays in that second period was the fight that we thought erupted after the Bearcats got a shot opportunity on David Hefflin, and then some extracurriculars started to occur, and where we saw Justin Reese, so it looked like take a shot right on the side of the head. What do you think happened there, and do you feel like there should have been any game misconducts distributed to either side?
You know, I didn't really think it was worthy of a game misconduct as a ref. I would have been close. I definitely would have given a 2 and a 10, which I believe they did.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't make a clear signal. Stephen Quinn did retaliate on that play, which personally I don't believe in, but I think that he was just trying to defend his player, which I respect.
And then we saw Joey Rittendale also step up as the captain of this team and defend his line mates. But do you feel like that should have been held back because the Bearcats got a power play opportunity of their own? So do you feel like that was a costly play for them in that second period that cost them maybe time on the other side of the ice?
It was a costly play, and it was a dumb play. The Bearcats really had no reason to retaliate or throw punches there. It's just classic hockey. They don't need to retaliate like that, and it could have prevented a 4-on-4. And this is a big rink for 4-on-4 play. There's a lot of ice that needs to be covered. It's hard to cover all the ice with a 5-on-5, but with a 4-on-4, it's just too much. Players are getting too tired. They need to change too frequently, and they need to prevent that.
And talk about that 4-on-4 play. That's where the Illini were able to get one of their goals that first period. So do you feel like the Wildcat? Why do I keep saying Wildcats? Okay, the Bearcats. Do you feel like they've adjusted well to this wide ice when it's come to special teams?
They have. They've done a good job playing this big Olympic-sized rink. They haven't really proved that on the scoreboard, but I think they've done a good job. They've been good with spacing, and they were definitely well prepared for this game. All
right, coming into this third period, who do you feel like needs to step up on either team? Do you feel like?
I think everyone does, other than the third line for the Illini, who've been great. They're the makeshift third line. But in this third period, I think that we're going to see the Illini step up, especially James McGee and Eric Cruikshank. I think that they're going to be the dynamic duo. They're going to keep getting the pucks on the net. And for the Bearcats, their top line has to step up. They cannot be bad. They're as bad as they've been the entire night. Levi Armstrong really hasn't been as good as he's normally been. Nas has been great, but Armstrong really needs to step up.
Yeah, we've seen Armstrong disappear after that great first period he had. So the Bearcats are going to be wanting a lot more out of him. But let me get your ideas of a score prediction so far for the final of this game.
This game has been really, really hard to predict. I think we're going to see one more goal from each team. I'm changing my 4-4 prediction at the end of that period. I think the game's going to finish 4-3. But I really want to talk about how good the makeshift third line of the Illini has been tonight. Chance Homerin centered Moskowik and Reese. And they've been everywhere. They've gotten the puck on the net. Homerin is 9 for 10 on faceoffs.
Dominant.
He's been nothing short of great on the faceoff dot, and I think we're going to see that third line and more key chances for the Illini. Nick Fabrini's shown that he trusts them a lot, but I don't think he's trusted them as much as he has tonight. They've been very good. And there's one play getting in on a goal, which they should have scored. Reese should have made one more pass to Chance Homerin. It would have been a perfect tic-tac-toe play, which is one of the prettiest plays in hockey.
Yeah, Fabrini talking about how he feels like any line on any given night can be the star line of this team. And it's shown here tonight with that third line. And you really got to love the chemistry between Chance Homerin and John Moskowik. As Homerin's the facilitator on that third line, and it's looking like Moskowik is going to be the finisher. What have you seen between the chemistry between those two?
I think they've been passing the puck around great. They've been getting it on the net. And they've been communicating, unlike the rest of the players out on the ice. They actually call for the puck. Their mouths are moving. It's not just a stick tapping on the ice. As a coach with younger kids, the biggest thing that I would preach is yelling for that puck, because the players recognize their voices. They can tell if it's someone on their team, and they know their strengths based on the voice. It's not just the sound of a stick tapping, which any player on the ice can do.
Now, you mentioned as a coach those adjustments. What are some other adjustments you want to see out of both teams?
Heads need to be up. The Illini got caught at the beginning of the period with their heads down, not looking for the puck, inopportune changes. They just have not looked like the Illini of the first period. They need to be talking, and they need to be skating hard with their heads up for the rest of the game for them to be able to win.
All right, and the last question. Do you feel like the Illini close it out here tonight to improve to 7-0 on the season?
I think they're going to close it out tonight. It's going to be a tough battle, and McKendree is definitely going to come out hard for this third period, but I think the Illini will be able to close it out and get a W.
Well, that's your second intermission report. Thank you guys for tuning in on YouTube.com. Be sure to stay with us, as we'll bring third period action back to you in a couple minutes. This has been your second intermission report, as I just repeated for some reason, and thank you guys for tuning in.
Watch out
Hi, everybody. We welcome you back into the big pond here in Champaign, Illinois. Last period of regulation, 3-2. Illinois over McKendree University. Cristiano Seminary with you right now alongside Eric Fisher. Up in the treehouse here. Always a great time to be in the big pond on a Friday night. You got an undefeated team in Illinois, but McKendree only down 1 goal. How important is the next one for either team that can really set the stage here in this final frame of regulation?
Well, it will be very important because if the Illini net a goal here, especially early on in this third period, it could really take all momentum away from McKendree. But if McKendree nets himself a goal to tie the game, well, that just completely shifts all the momentum on their side, and it feels like the game's in their favor. So the first team to get on the board this third period is going to have an immediate advantage.
Jack Graham with a goal, Grant Stubbe with a goal, James McGing, that highlight reel backhander. That's the separator of this tie game. Now it's a 3-2 game. If you're head coach Nick Fabrini, what's your mantra moving forward? Because you've got 1 goal, but you do not want to take a step back. You don't want to be able to mismanage your lineup because Stephen Quinn only played 2 minutes and 26 seconds of this hockey game. Will number 7 be out there in a bigger role?
Well, we'll see. We mentioned that Fabrini really does not like his players retaliating, so we might have saw him punish Quinn there with ice time in that second period. And so what Fabrini's trying to do is there is send a message to his team saying, hey, if you're not going to play clean, efficient hockey, you're just not going to play. And as a coach, that's what you have to do with a team like this that has as much talent as it does, is that you have to establish that you have to play at your top level at all times. And that's what Fabrini's trying to preach to his team.
And do you like that out of a head coach? A no-tolerance policy?
Oh, absolutely, because as soon as one little thing slides by coach, then another thing becomes a bigger deal happens, and another thing, and then soon you're just considered a pushover by your team. And as a coach, that's the worst thing that could happen to you, where you lose the locker room and lose all control. And so Fabrini is a coach that you and me both know that's not going to happen with him. He's a guy, you're going to either do it his way or you're just not going to play at all, and you're not even going to have a roster spot. And so players respect it, and Fabrini respects his players as well, and it's been a great combination throughout his Illini career.
Yeah, Nick Fabrini has won 2 national championships. Those banners that you see at the top of your screen. He was a third liner, but boy, did he was able to put pucks in the back of the net at will, as many of those members of the undefeated group in 2008. As we're underway here in the third period, Bearcats trying to strike. It's Connor Brennan. Bearcats going from left to right. The Illini going from right to left. As here's Tyler Opilka. Outlets for Richter. Drew Richter from the Springfield Junior Blues. Recruited from that squad. Now he's got it for Illinois. That pass was taken away by number 7, Levi Armstrong, who had 4 goals against Mizzou earlier this month in 1 game. So now here's Wilson. That pass was blocked away by Caprio. Caprio couldn't get the puck away from Wilson, who tosses one in for number 27, Brennan. Brennan on the near side, half boards. McKendree controlling the play early on in this third period, 3-2 Illini. As that shot was from Nordlander. Down low for Armstrong. Armstrong on the far side. 3 men on him. Nice jump there from Ernsting. He may have Kellner up the middle. Instead, Bobby will go through 3. Has McGing on his left side. Bobby now for David Kellner. He fires, and that one is stopped by Best. The Illini have been eyeing that left side of the net, that glove side of Best. He shuts the door. 1 minute and 20 seconds into the third period.
I was almost positive that shot was going to sneak right under Best's glove side. But once again, he closes all gaps of a potential scoring opportunity. And he's really keeping his team in this game so far, as we saw them get outshot 15-3 that second period.
But the Illini coming into this third period have won 26 out of 38 faceoffs, an element of their game they're trying to perfect and have been very dominant on, especially on the road. Now here's Dom Noss tipping one, but not on his side of center, so this one's going to be icing. Minute 35 into the third period. Cristiano Seminary with you, Eric Fisher alongside Illinois. They waged that early push there in the third period from McKendree. Now they're trying to add some more offense, some insurance at the other end of the rink. Bobby Ernsting. He's a dangler. He's well advertised, 6 points in 6 games. And he's got it on the far side now for Kellner. Kellner escapes. Now looking bad angle. He shoots one off the outside of the cage. Best gets to it. And that's an element of Andrew Best's game as we talk about the concept of skills that goaltenders can have at eliminating those chances when it's around your blue paint. He's been gobbling all of them, even if they're not shots on goal. He's confident in his group to win the faceoff, even though they may not have succeeded on it. But he's getting stoppages and not allowing the Illini to have some flow.
Yeah, and his rebound control has been amazing this game. Not letting anything get away from him.
Rittendale with a shot. It's down low, and Best doesn't know where it is. It's Stephen Quinn with some third period action. Now back to the right point for Rittendale. Now for Moskluk. As Nolan shifts down low. Tipped out in front, and that one was stopped by Best. 17:54 left in the third period. 3-2 Illinois. Nolan with a great pass for Moskluk. Again to the glove side.
Shuts it down.
And like a baseball catcher, just strike one into the glove. 17:49 left in the third.
He looks so confident in between the pipes right now. He looks like he's in complete control of this side of the ice. And while his defense is not really helping him out a whole lot, he isn't really seeming to mind so far, making these saves that we would deem probably very difficult is extremely easy.
17:47 left in the third period. Now here's Ivasinko, couldn't get it out. Jack Graham punches it back in. To the near side, it'll be Chance Holmgren on the attack. Illinois trying to force a turnover. Third line out. Here's Holmgren. Holmgren's got Moskluk out in front. John on his backhand, and he was stifled and taken down by Ivasinko. A shot there from Holmgren, knocked down. And I believe the net comes off its moorings. There was a whistle. 2 minutes and 34 seconds into the third period. As Best readjusts that left post. But a chance there from the third line. They're a tenacious bunch, and they can really capitalize if you fumble it in your own zone.
Yeah, and you just can't help but think that what would have happened if that puck was on the other side of Moskluk's stick is if he was able to really wind back and send a one-timer from only about 5 feet out. But he, unfortunately for the Illini, the stick was on his backhand, and he wasn't able to quite really control it. And we saw Andrew Best once again just swallow up the puck.
And for the second time all game, McKendree tries to make that last change. Of course you can't when you're in the defensive zone. And the referees, we talk about Nick Verini's no-tolerance policy. The referees are not letting anything get by.
No, and this has been a well-officiated
And now they
game.
toss a Bearcat from the center. And now the Illini trying to add to this 3-2 lead. It's Graham down low for Moskluk. Moskluk now for Quinn. Quinn backdoor for Holmgren. That was too high of a saucer feed. Moskluk's got it at the right point. Throws one in wide of the cage. 17:10 left in the third period. Kendati on to pinch. And instead it's going to be number 81 or 91. That's Young. Out to center ice. McKendree on the counter. It's on the tape of Young. Young trying to deke through two. As Kendati and Graham canceled him out. A stable third-line defensive pairing. I don't know the last time we said that when referencing Illini hockey. As here's Moskluk. Toe drags it in. As that route was jumped by number 8, Nichols. Wears an A on his sweater up for number 9. That's, of course, Bob. His shot was blocked by Graham. Now on the end boards, down to the near side. Stephen Quinn showcasing his wheels and his speed. Throws one in. Best out to play it. He fumbled with it, and now here's Quinn. Quinn checked along the end boards, dives for it. Instead, it's taken by number 5. That's Davis. Davis off the boards, now out to center. Spring pass there, no receiver as a man was taken down. McKendree wanted a whistle. Instead, they get nothing. 3 minutes and 47 seconds into this third period. Cristiano Sinetta with you right now. Eric Fisher alongside. 3-2 Illinois thanks to a first period goal from James McGing. We haven't had any scoring since. As McKendree trying to get through neutral ice, can't do it as Caprio checks a man, and Sabo, I believe, got slashed, but nonetheless, it'll be an offsides call. 4 minutes and 5 seconds into the third period. How good has this fourth line been tonight? Because, as we mentioned with Jack Graham, the element of fitting into this roster, I think Novosel, Sabo, and Reese have done an excellent job.
Oh, very much so. And they're always so active, too, especially along the boards. They're not afraid to do the dirty work. And that's what you need out of your fourth line.
From the fourth line to the first line, here's the group of Stuve, Cruikshank, and Richter as number 17, Wilson, gains the line in the Illini zone. Wilson with a lot of speed, a lot of skill, now back to the left point. Here's DeZan. DeZan couldn't get it. Back from Wilson, and now out to McKendree's own blue line. He played for Ryan Reeder. As that pass was deflected right at the red line. This one's not going to be icing as Wilson chases after with Opilka. McKendree trying to force a turnover, can't do it. Now here's Caprio. Caprio for Richter, now for Cruikshank, dodges a hit along the block eye. As Richter fights forward with Brennan. Wilson takes the puck along the far side circle. He dekes around a man, looking in front, and that one was knocked away from Nichols. Never got to Heflin. Cruikshank.
I was going to say it was a great play by Tyro Opelka to break that up.
Now here's Cruikshank out for Richter as a backdoor man. Instead tried a blind pass as Ernsting, or excuse me, that was Cruikshank, went all the way around the net. A nice try from Richter there. He'll head off. Second line comes on. McKendree, not very deliberate here on this breakout as they changed up some personnel. Now out to the middle. As this is Davies almost intercepting a play. Now it's Counter. Counter not on his side of center there. That's something that you want to credit McKendree with. When the Illini go through the middle area, it was number 44, Daniel Nordlander, as well as Lazar Lesterick, that restrained him from gaining that line, forcing that dump in. It was too far, icing. Now they have a chance to win an offensive zone faceoff.
Yeah, as you saw in that play, they just suffocated Kellner right along that side where the only chance he had to really get the puck across into the offensive zone was to dump it from that position, because if he didn't, it could have been an easy turnover.
Nass with a slap shot off the draw, and that one just missed the near side post. Ernsting now for Opelka. They reverse now for Bobby. Sophomore forward plays it for the senior captain. Now out for Cruikshank. Cruikshank for Counter along the red line. A bit of a mix-up here on this remixed icing-faced line here is Cruikshank, Ernsting, and Counter. But, of course, Cruikshank goes off. McGing comes on. At the top of your screen, it'll be Blair Davies tipping one in. Now for McGing. James McGing, look at the strides. Galloping like a horse now into the goal line. James McGing, power move out in front, and he was just poked away or else he would have been in the clear.
Had a wide-open net on that blocker side.
As here's Ernsting. 6 minutes and 10 seconds gone by in this third period. 3-2 Illinois. It's Nass. Nass who opened the scoring, not only just for McKendree, but in the hockey game, a couple minutes in. But he's been silent since. Nolan out to center ice. Reeder slaps one back in along the end boards. 13:29 left in the third period as Joe Nolan takes it out. Nolan out for Homer. Gaining the McKendree line. Shimmies his way through. Number 22, Pluto to take. Homer and battling with that new twig. As now here's McGing. McGing with a nice sidestep to create space. He's got the puck along the far side. Skates around another. That was DeZand. And he dodges a hit from Pluto, who went head over heels, so we hope he's okay. And now here's Moskala. John had it knocked away from him. Homer and down low for John. John out in front. That pass was blocked off of Best. As heading to the middle. Oh, that could have been a dangerous play there from Nolan as Lamb was pinching. As a late hit on Nolan goes uncalled. Now we're back to the near side in the Illini zone. It's Rittendale. Rittendale on his backhand. Sauces one for Holmgren. Plays off for a streaking Quinn. 12:40 left in the third period. Quinn looking for a backdoor play for Moskaluk. And now it's Rittendale with a lot of space to the right point. His pass was picked off by Nordlander. As he just runs over Chance Holmgren. A truck stick, if you will. As McKendree out to center, but Joe Nolan knocks away that pass, springing Dimitro Golovko. Haven't heard his name a lot tonight. Only played in 2 games before tonight. No points so far. Here's Nolan. Confident skater. Gaining the line. He'll go off. So will Holmgren. As McKendree trying to capitalize here on the line change. Now on the near side. Holmgren with a check. As now it's Novosel. Rung one around for Graham. As Quinn up the middle. Can he hit him? Yes, sir. Oh, no. It went just underneath him. As that one will go for icing 8 minutes and 5 seconds into the third. But do you like that? Aggressive mentality to try and get those 2-3 line passes all the way up to neutral ice and attempt to score off the rush.
Oh, absolutely. And it's plays like that in such a close game that are going to really propel you and show the difference in the score. And that taking shots like that is what you need to do in order to really propel the game into motion.
Now here's Sabo. Backhanded try there from Novosel. Missed everything. Graham now for Novosel. Sophomore player, but freshman to the Division I program. He played on D2 last year. Skating away with it is Levi Armstrong. Armstrong tied up a bit. Got it down low. Graham intercepts. It's been one of Jack Graham's best games, not only offensively, but defensively too with Kendati. I like this pairing. Moskaluk. Attempted one for Reese. Reese with a quick steal on that shot. He's on his knees and a great save by Best. Oh my goodness. Justin Reese making it happen from any predicament. That shot comes in off the blocker from Caprio. Reese again. That pass was forced and stolen, but now we're back at the center line. But Justin Reese with a chance to give the Illini a 4-2 lead, and Best Closes the legs.
On his knees, too. That second opportunity, that was amazing.
On the far side, almost reaching the halfway mark in this third period. Cristiano Cimetta with you. Eric Fisher alongside. It's been a dandy. It's been a great one. 3-2 Illinois over the McKendree University Bearcats. Here's Caprio up for Richter. Richter through a skate, redirected. Stuve with a great back check against Nas. Could have drawn a slashing penalty, but instead he'll just keep the puck. He's checked off by Reeder. Now for Cruikshank, who swims around a man. That was Ivasenko. Cruikshank battling with number 74. Now Stuve. Stuve's got Richter. As Stuve was brought down, he's on his knees, and he trips up a man, as that one could have been called. So the refs swallowing their whistles for sure. Now here's Cruikshank. Fakes around a man. Has Richter up top. Right circle fires one that's knocked down. Stuve wants to get it back to Cruikshank. He does. 10 minutes exactly left in this third period. Caprio has a seeing eye shot. Will he use it? Instead goes on the boards. Stuve knocks down that knee-high pass. Richter from a bad angle, and that one was wide. Ernsting fresh off the bench, trying to catch McKendree with some tired legs. He breaks through, and now Stuve on the forehand. Knocked down number 11. It's Lazar Lesterik. Out to center, the Illini have a chance. Here comes Ernsting, 1-on-3. Bobby Ernsting between his legs. What a great move. Off the bench, and a shot there came from number 18. That was Graham. That was 19 Kellner, excuse me. Oh, boy. Bobby Ernsting distracting 3 Bearcats, but a shoulder stop from Best keeps this game 3-2, and now negating the icing at the other end is Billy Lamb. Opilka checked him. As dodging a hit there, the elusiveness as well from number 22. That was Pluto. Now here's McGinn, can't get it to his backhand. The Illini have to tag up at the blue line, but this is a ferocious pace of this third period right now.
Oh, absolutely. And everyone on the second line draws so many defenders. And
Kellner with a steal. Now here's McGinn. McGinn on his backhand, and that one was our left shoulder save again by Best. Some more action, some more opportunities, but nothing has gone into either cage since the first period. Should we expect it to change soon? We'll find out.
I don't know, but Best did not fall for any of those dekes that McGinn was put up. It shows that discipline of a goaltender, and it's what you need out of one of the most important positions on the ice.
Yeah, he certainly didn't cheat on that near side play.
Nope.
A lot of goalies in this league, as we'll get back to that in just a second, as a shot came from number 18, Golovko. We'll stick the side by Halfling. All on the far side, number 44, Nordlander, arguably the best defenseman on McKendree tonight. Now here's McGinn. 4-on-2 for Illinois. Ernsting gains the line right circle. Now for McGinn. McGinn between his legs. Backdoor pass, and John Moskaluk, if he was able to retrieve it, would have had a wide open 6x4.
Just wasn't quite where in the slot McGinn was looking for him. If he was just maybe a foot back, he would have been able to send a one-timer that would have had a great chance to hit the back of the net.
Skating away is Nordlander. He's got it. Threading one through as Young couldn't get to it. And now the net has been dislodged by Nordlander as he bumped into it. As 12 minutes and 10 seconds into this third period, that was some shaky defensive plays. They allowed Nordlander to just skate through and toss one in for Young, and they're lucky that that pass didn't connect.
Yeah, it was just a quick lapse, which is what we haven't really seen out of the Illini after that first period. They've been locked down on these Bearcats, but just a little play like that could cost the team a game, as we saw last year against Indiana Tech. One small misstep at the blue line cost Illinois that game, and it could potentially cost them this game if they make any more plays like that.
Gandati for Graham, now along the far side for Moskaluk. Off his skates to Holman along the red line. He'll dump one in. Ivasenko loses the battle with Quinn. Now here's Homer, great pass in front for Moskaluk. He fires, and that one's stopped by Best. Business as usual for number 20 in purple. 12:32 into the third period. A positive for the Illini, though. The action's been all the way on this side.
Oh, absolutely. Which could be a little bit of a worry for Heflin, because if things start to rev up down on this side of the ice, he might not be quite as loose and as warm as he was possibly that first period. So we'll see if that has any impact the rest of the game.
Third line out again is Holmgren, who had won 9 out of 10 draws. Coming through 40 minutes now, it's Quinn, but he wins it so cleanly. Comes back in the Illini zone for Kandati.
It was literally too easy.
Well, they practice all the time on those faceoffs. I think 3 out of the 5 days they do practice full. 30 minutes at least is dedicated to faceoffs.
Oh, absolutely.
And now here's Holmgren on his backhand, knocked to number 12. That was Belke. Holmgren, great thread through for Moskaluk, but now McKendree on the counter. Over the red line, over the blue line. Here comes Alec Nichols. That was Travis Bopp. The New York native now for Quinnell on the near side. Illinois with a turnover as they forced one. Now on the red line for Homer. He gains, but it's canceled away as Moskaluk tripped up a man. He's got Caprio down the middle, but instead he's forced to ring one around the end boards for Homer. Homer now for Moskaluk. He fires one, and that one is stopped. Where is it? Best. It's somewhere in his paraphernalia. Moskaluk, who's had 5 or 6 shots in this hockey game, can't bury one as he was the Illini's leading scorer through 4 games.
I don't know how he was able to get a good shot on that. That puck was bouncing a lot, but he was still able to get a clean opportunity, which just shows you the level of talent Moskaluk is when it comes to firing those one-timers. And he's been making all the little plays here tonight as well to really make that third line step out here tonight.
6.5 left in this third period. We're glad you could join us. Cristiano Simonetta with you. Eric Fisher alongside. Sava overskated. Now for number 11, that's Lesterik. Here's Opilka for Caprio. The Illini can just attempt to play 4 corners with it. They have the lead. They certainly want to add to it. Wickland's shot, intentionally wide to start the cycle for Opilka. Now for Novosel in front for off a Sabo's stick. He can't track it. And the alternate captain for McKendree, that's Lesterik out for Nas. Nas taps it ahead into the Illini zone. And he lost it, and it'll be sent down. Here's Nordland. And look at the effort from Neil Novosel. Late on his shift, what does he do? He forces him all the way into that far side, and he still is. So just an element. The Illini fourth line, they're not going to give up no matter if they've been on the ice for 5 seconds or 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's little things like that that's going to allow for clean line changes as well.
14:30 into this third period. 3-2 Illini. That's a weird bounce. Here comes Richter as that puck just stopped instead of continuing to bounce. He'll come back out to center. Richter and Opilka with some miscommunication. It'll be the junior defenseman playing it back for the senior in Caprio. Now here's Stuve. Stuve over the line to his backhand. Grant Stuve. Great pass across. Crookshank winds up, and that's off the goalpost. Oh, he dented that piece of metal. 15 minutes into the third period. Mr. Third period. Just a matter of inches from making this game a 4-2 lead.
He's hungry. You could see it in his eyes, the way he's moving on the ice. He's ready to try and put this game away, but that one just going off the post right there.
And Stuve, his ability to draw defenders. When that pass was going across, we knew who it was going to. But McKendree seemed frozen, and so was Best. Now in the low slot for McKendree. Number 6, Billy Lamb. 1 goal in 5 games so far. He can't get it out. Here's counter. Counter against number 22. That was Pluto. Pluto's got it back out of Calgary, Alberta. And another example of an Illini forecheck as Crookshank forces the puck loose. Lamb has to get along the far side. Now out to center, it's counter. Counter back for Rittendale, now for Nolan. 4:08 left in the third period. Time is ticking down every time we look up at the scoreboard. McKendree's got to find that extra gear to tie this game up. Can they do it? Here's Rittendale on the far side. Fired one in off the stick of Best. Ricocheting off the glass down to the near side. 3:52 left in the third period. David Heflin certainly enjoys the view of the play 194 feet away from him. It's a scramble now along the end boards. McGing with some sticks. Coming away with it is number 91, Young. Young now for Belkey. McKendree seems to have no fluidity in their offense as here comes Ernsting the other way. Ernsting on the left circle. Looking for a backdoor play as it just escaped off the stick of Moskaluk, who had Best leaning. Nolan at the left point has Kendati at the center. Instead goes for McGing down low. As look at McGing. He's saying, hey, come and get the puck from me. Shoots one on. That one is stopped by Best with Moskaluk in front. 16 minutes and 52 seconds into this third period. 3-2 Illinois.
We're seeing McKendree make several plays where they just can't get it out of their own zone, so they're just dumping the puck across the ice, but they're not going to get all offensive opportunities like that if they're doing that. So they're going to have to take a lot more risk, especially with the clock line winding down this third period, if they want to even get shots on goal on Heflin.
And they also have to win the face-offs, which they don't do there. And now it's Holmgren, the centerman who was victorious, with the puck on his stick. Now out in front for Quinn, as that slap shot was stifled by the stick of number 17, Wilson. Brennan getting it to the right point in the Bearcat zone, Now off the glove and off the stick. The number 17, Wilson, fires one, and that was just wide of the blocker. Holmgren with his speed along the side. Now here comes John Moskowitz. Bad angle, shoots one off the pad, and that one goes up into the protective netting. 17-22 into the third period. Fabrini's been playing this third line often.
A lot.
This could be probably their most ice time in the entire season. And for good reason. They're humming at both ends of the ice and making sure that the cycle remains alive.
Yeah, they're hot, and that's what good coaches do is they ride the hot hand when they need to. So that's what we're seeing on this third line with Quinn, Homer, and Moskowitz. They're getting great shot opportunities, but they're just not able to find the back of the net, as Best has been amazing tonight.
Cruikshank wins the draw to the far side for Stuve. Stuve now for Cruikshank, looking for a one-timer and Richter. Set it's back for Graham. The D1 rookie, Jack Graham, promoted for a reason, has a goal tonight, and he's out there with almost 2 minutes left in a third period, 1-goal game.
Speaks a lot.
Cruikshank overskated. Now the other way it's Young. Young to his blue line to the red line. Now the Illini blue line. Puck skated over the block guy by Ryan Reeder. Putting it for Young at the right circle. Shot saved made by Heflin as he covers up. And look at the whack chance there from Reeder. And Kendati kicks his stick away. He knows the rules here, the unwritten ones, of course. You poke away at my goaltender, I'm going to give you a few jabs.
Oh, yeah, you poke at him, I'm going to give you a jab. That's just how it is. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. But we're going to see the second line for the Illini come out, and I can't imagine them seeing them come off the ice unless Fabrini wants to close this game with the third line, which I could see. But watch out for Ernsting, McGee, and Kellner to really close out this game and hopefully for them give them their 7th win in a row.
Nas can't get it through. Nordlander fires one that's over the glove of Heflin and meets the end boards. That was close. Kept in at the right point. Now it's Kellner for Ernsting. Great pass there to Nas from number 8, Nichols. Bearcats have to tag up here. Andrew Best still in that crease as Illinois continues to keep the puck in their zone. Joe Nolan going coast to coast. That shot was blocked. Down to 90 seconds left in the third period. 3-2 Illinois against the McKendree Bearcats. Out to center, it's Rittendale. What's he going to do? Slap one in.
You got to think McKendree's trying to pull Best out of the net to get them the man advantage.
But they have to get the puck into the Illini zone, at least to neutral ice and dump it in. As here's McGing. Walking the line, Johnny Kashask. He moves in along the right circle. He's poked away, and he keeps the puck on his stick, though. Here's Kellner. Boarded. Now for Ernsting. Down to 60. Illini's second line. Making sure McKendree has no momentum, and now they get it to center. Best is right outside his crease. And now a long pass here for Robbie Ernsting. He moves in, fakes the drive, and he scores! Oh my heavens! What a stop and start! Bobby Ernsting, welcome back. 4-2, 45.9 left in the third.
If there were any questions about Bobby Ernsting's health coming into this game, they were just immediately silenced with that goal, making people look silly with that stop right there. And that's just great to see. And like I said, you got to have that second line really close out the game, and that's what they had.
Bobby Ernsting, oh my goodness, what a stop on a dime.
That's not easy to do.
As a McKendree Bearcat defenseman went sliding away, he beat Best on the glove side. I wonder if Best will leave now. 30 seconds left in the hockey game. 2-goal lead for the home squad. Here's Opilka on his backhand for Quinn. The Big Pond crowd, for the first time in a long time, up to their feet. They're alive indeed on this spooky Friday the 13th matchup.
Jason here? Dad?
12 seconds left in the third period. On the far side, it's Reeder. Illinois keeps the puck. Now it's Quinn. Quinn down low for Homer, and he shoots one, stopped by Best. Puck still loose along the end boards, and the Illini are going to improve to 7-0 on the season. It was a tight one, but the game-winning goal comes from the second line. The insurance marker comes from the second line to McGing with that third goal, and Bobby Ernsting. Oh, that's just insane with that fourth marker. The Illini win.
Yeah, that's one that a lot of people are going to look back here on YouTube, as we have the power to do. They're going to look back, and they're going to just be in awe at the beauty of that goal. The stop on a dime, the shot to get it right under Best's glove, which he's been locked down on that side all night. Just a beautiful insurance goal, and it's going to ensure that the Illini stay undefeated on the year so far.
43 shots for Illinois.
and only 4 goals.
And 16 shots for McKendree. 1 shot in the third period. The lockdown effort from Illinois. This is a different lineup than I've seen in the past couple of years structure-wise, but that ability to shut down the opposition when you have a 1-goal lead, it's unparalleled right now. Nick Fabrini has his group going, and it explains that 7-0 start.
And it seems like they could just turn it on whenever they want. That first period, you did not see a lockdown Illini defensive team. But Fabrini probably said all nice things after that first period in the locker room.
Of course.
But whatever he said to him, they came out and just dominant defensively. And it was just great to see for the Illini.
Nick Fabrini's club moves to 7-0. The McKendree Bearcats. Oh,
I say
my
Wildcats,
gosh.
you say Bobcats.
I say Bearcats, too. That'd be a great name. NHL's got to expand.
Got the Golden Knights. Bearcats are coming next out of
The
San
Houston
Diego.
Bearcats.
Oh,
How does that sound? The Bearcats drop to 5-2. But if you're McKendree, what do you need to do to start this Saturday game? They got out to a 2-0 lead, and you would think that Illinois would leave this building after 60 minutes with their tails between their legs. Instead, it's 4 unanswered goals.
Well, they just took their foot off the accelerator, and then they just backed down to the line in their own zone. They couldn't get the puck out. They're making sloppy passes everywhere, and they only got 1 shot in that third period. And for McKendree, that's when you have to turn up, is in the third period, because you're down. You're facing a deficit. They were playing like they had a cushion, and they had 0 cushion whatsoever. So coming into tomorrow's game, you got to imagine they're going to want to come out to another hot start. But the real question is going to be, can they maintain it? And tonight we didn't see that out of the Bearcats.
Bearcats. Half bear, half cat.
We're at that point.
We're at that point of the broadcast. Bobby Ernstine with that late goal, 46.9 seconds left in the third period. McGing with that backhand. Jack Graham gets on the score sheet again. So you're not seeing goal production from the same guys each and every night. Should we expect it moving forward tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. Fabrini, I keep saying this, but Fabrini keeps saying any player on this team can show up any night and be the star player. And that's what we're seeing. We're not seeing one guy create all the offense. If there's one guy you would say, it would be McGing, obviously. But you're seeing Jack Graham, a guy that is not known at all for his offensive ability, barely hardly known coming into the season, and he's making a name for himself on that third defensive line pairing. And so when you're getting production out of players like that, and Justin Reese, who had a great game tonight as well, when you're getting production out of those players, it just makes it extremely difficult to play against.
The Illini moved to 7-0 on the season thanks to a 4-2 victory over the McKendree Bearcats. For Hamden Kyle, did great on the intermission reports with yourself, Eric Fisher. I'm Cristiano Simena. We'll see you tomorrow night. This has been Illini Hockey presented by YouTube.